Summon Sign is brought to you by you. If you want to learn how to support our show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 113 of Summon Sign, Last Stand Media's weekly in-depth game discussion podcast. I'm your host, as always, Brad Ellison. Joining me, I have two fine individuals. First, we're going to start with my punching up co-host, Mrs. Micah Moriarty. Micah, hello. How are you? Your jacket looks soft.
Yes. Yeah, this is one of my softest jackets. It's actually a Pusheen jacket, which you can't see, but Pusheen is on there. But yeah, it's cozy. We got a little bit of snow last night. It's already gone. It's already melted. But the cold weather has stayed. So we're back into our cozy clothes, and I'm loving it.
Okay, very nice. Also joining us, Mr. Jason Polanski. Good to see you, man. Sorry, that was an sigh of.
I was like, wait a minute, I got a second.
Here we go again.
I almost sneezed and I stopped it, kind of somehow doing that. So we're good,
That's
Jason.
all right. All good
to see you, man. How are you?
Great. Good to be back. Thank you for having me. Good to see both of you. I feel like an imposter a little bit, as this is like the punching up crew. And then here I am.
Yeah. But you know your Nintendo stuff enough.
Oh yeah. Oh, I play my Switch.
You're a big Switch gamer,
and Switch to that point probably gets more play than any other platform.
Yeah.
Love it.
And it looks like you have a Prinny behind you. Is that correct?
Yeah. We got
that gives you bonus points.
There's Gritty. He's not a video game character, but he is everywhere. We got Monokuma.
Gritty gets the most points, absolutely.
Got the best version of Koromaru from Persona Q.
Oh, yeah. I never played the Q games. I missed them.
Oh my God.
Missed the boat on them.
I don't think I finished one, but I played them both a lot. You always get to those. There seems to be, whenever you play one of these old school dungeon crawler games, especially the ones where you have to draw maps and you're on a grid, you hit a point where it's like, oh yeah, these platforms are going to push you in this direction, and there's portals, and you still have random encounters. And then at one point, I'm just like, you know what, I'm good.
Yeah,
I got my
that's
money's
enough.
worth. Yeah, did it. How long?
I'm gonna try to look up how long the beat is for Persona
One of them's like
Q.
40 hours. They're like way long.
Yeah, is it really that long?
Yeah,
dude.
so.
Okay, main story
Right?
60 and a half hours.
Yeah, okay.
Main plus sides 80, completionist 117. Dude, yeah, that's meaty. Holy moly.
Yeah, they're chonky.
Yeah, they are chonky games. Yeah, I guess most SMT style games in general are pretty long.
Sure. Especially the mainline SMT games when they just get to difficulty levels. I don't know if I said this on any prior appearance, but when Shin Megami Tensei 4 came, no, 5, that was the one on Switch. And our CEO, Wade, we have conversations about games a lot. He's a big gamer, so we'll give each other recommendations. And we were talking about Shin Megami Tensei 5, and he said, you got to play it in hard mode. That's the only way to play the game.
No.
You have to play it in hard mode, because then it's like every level's a puzzle. And I'm like, all right, fine. He started before I did. I started it shortly thereafter. I'm like, I'll start it in hard mode. I died in the tutorial.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm good. Who am I proving this? I'm not proving this to anybody.
Yeah, you have to be very familiar with that battle system and know what you're kind of doing. Yeah. Like I played quite a bit of Nocturne back in the day on PS2. Man, that game kicked my ass when I played that.
I think 4 was Strange Journey was probably the first one I really got deep into. I don't even know if I finished it, but that was the original release of Strange Journey on the DS. And then 4, I think, was the first mainline one I actually finished. I loved it.
That was it. Yeah, was that a 3DS game? 4?
That was 3DS. Yeah. Okay. I didn't play Apocalypse. That was the second. I never really do these double dip.
Yeah, Atlas loves doing that.
Game. Yeah, but from what I understand, Apocalypse is unbelievable.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they're all really good. I don't doubt it. Micah, have you played an SMT game, like a proper one? I know you've played spin-offs like Rideout or whatever.
Yeah, I tried 5 on Switch. And I just wasn't, it's something I want to revisit now that I know kind of what it is, because I'm a big Persona fan, obviously. But it was so repetitive in the beginning. Like there's literally one type of monster in the opening area, and it's like, just fight 50 of these. And I'm like, I'm a little bored right now. And And it was little things like the music kicking up for every single battle when it's like, there's a lot of battles right now. It was just like, I wasn't feeling how repetitive it was at the time, but now I was interested in the story. So now that I know what it's going to be and I'm expecting that, I'll be like, I'll put on a podcast. I'll get through this. But it was, coming from Persona, all right, I was like, it ain't that. Because it was my first time trying one of those. And I said, okay, now I know a little more what to expect.
If I didn't have the lifestyle that I have with commuting to the office and traveling and those kind of things, I don't know if I'd play as many RPGs like this, because they are perfect for being on the go, listening to a podcast, grinding on a train. And then, when you hit those main story beats, like, okay, now I'm going to plug in my headphones. I'm going to listen to what's actually being said. Or if I'm at home and if I'm really in, then I could continue there and get the main story beats. So it wasn't until it was actually Dragon Quest IX on the DS was probably the first turn-based RPG I finished. And that really got me into the genre, because that's when I started doing that commute on the train. And I just popped that open, did some grinding on the train, and then closed it. Good to go.
Yeah, you live like the Japanese lifestyle that they always had envisioned for DS.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm the right height for it too, so it works out.
I never beat Dragon Quest IX. I'm curious, how long was this to beat? 72 hours. Damn.
Oh, man.
Main story 47. I mean, that's still pretty long, but yeah, I remember that game came out. I wasn't really feeling it at the time. I need to revisit it someday, because I do love Dragon Quest.
I don't know what it was that compelled me to jump in and try it, but that was it. Then after that, I played Chrono Trigger, then Mario and Luigi game, and then off to the races. Now I can't get enough turn-based RPGs or big JRPGs in general.
Now we need Micah to play Chrono Trigger. She's got it. She's got the DS version. Gotta play it.
Nice.
The
That's
list
when I played.
of games, man, it's just never ending. What I need is a lull in new releases. And I just feel like we haven't really had that. Or we've had these new releases and they're long games. Like I'm playing through Dragon Quest VII right now, which is like the shortest version they've ever done. But it's still a meaty game to dive into. It's like what I need. And then Pocopia is coming out. It's like I need a lull in games. I also need a lull in long games, But it's on the list. We're going to get there.
I can't wait for Micah to play Chrono Trigger and not like it. I was going
to say, what if I hate it?
I know, it's going to happen, dude. It's just going to break my heart, man.
The people will riot in the streets.
Yeah. I'm going to riot on the show.
It holds up.
I'm going to get real mad.
Definitely holds up.
No, I can't I really don't see how I wouldn't
I think you'll like it.
I think I will too.
It's an elegant
Sea of Stars
game.
Yes. Oh, I loved that game. That was fantastic.
Oh, you're gonna love Chrono Trigger. Then
you'll be all about it. Yeah.
Chrono Trigger is just kind of better in every way in that game. I enjoyed that game too, but Chrono Trigger is an all-time classic, without a doubt. Before we end the show, check us out on patreon.com/laststandmedia. If you would like to support us, get early ad-free access to all of our shows. So please support us if you enjoy the content. We could not do without you guys over there. So thank you. If you want some merch, go to laststandmedia.store. Micah here will send you some merch from their house. Lots to choose from. Shirts, stickers, lots of good stuff. So please head on over there. Jason, I just realized, in case people don't know who you are, you've been on the show multiple times, though, over the years. Just in case people don't know who you are, what do you do?
I'm a producer at Atari. That's the easiest way to explain it.
There you go. That's how I say it. I'm like, he's a producer.
Yeah, I produce a whole bunch of games, and I think at this point, people are always saying, "Oh, what have you worked on? That I would know?" And I think it's a lot of old school titles and things like that. But now of note, I think that most of people who follow gaming would probably have heard of. I am the lead producer on Bubsy 4D.
Hell yeah!
So
that's just
one of the many titles I am a producer on. So that's what I do. Yeah,
we need a big in-depth episode about Bubsy with you when 4 comes out.
Oh, hell yeah.
Gritty.
Yeah, I'm in.
Spoiler cast for Bubsy 4. We need all the details.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Nerfed Ninja wrote and said, "Bad news, Brad. No question. Please avoid defining Duke. I'm not sure Xbox can survive another appearance by you." Well, guys, I have a reputation to uphold, so the plan is that I will be on it. I am the bringer of death upon the Xbox brand, as dubbed by the Duke, so Lots happened. We'll get into it later, I'm sure. Especially on Sort It Out, Keep It Up area. Whole thing's going on there. So we'll talk about there, but you guys are out of luck. Sorry. I must bring destruction.
Is it destruction or are you more of a chaos agent? It's still alive.
I don't know. I guess it depends on the fan base, whatever they think. Chaos?
Yeah.
Bad news? Misfortune? I don't know.
Yeah, mover and shaker.
Yeah. I mean, chaos kind of covers everything, I guess. So yeah, maybe it's more appropriate. It's all encompassing. I'm okay with that. I'm the chaos god from Warhammer, except it's only about Xbox news.
Chaos alignment in Shin Megami Tensei. There we go.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. All right. Let's get into our first game. Jason, I'm very excited about this one. This is the wrong tab. Romeo is a dead man. Grasshopper Games, Suda51. Finally, new game from them. I've seen the trailer, or a couple of the trailers. Insane, of course. I don't expect anything less from Suda. What the hell is this game?
Oh, man. Where to start? Where to begin? What are your familiarity?
I've played Shadows of the Damned. I know that was Mikami as well, which I really liked. I've played some of No More Heroes on the original one on Wii, and it didn't really click with me. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else I've really, really played from Suda? I can't think off the top of my head. I'd have to look at his catalog.
Micah, any Suda experience?
No, and this is a game where it's like I saw the trailers and it's like, oh, interesting, but like the ultra violence kind of stuff is I was just like, it's not something I'd actually want to play. I'd watch Colin play it if he was going to, but I'm like, this is a lot.
All right, so for my Suda experience, my first experience with him, and I kind of go through all the Grasshopper games in general. That's the studio that he has. Killer 7. Was my first experience, though, as part of the original Capcom 5, which then became the Capcom 4. And that game really spoke to me. It was crazy how good it was and weird and interesting. I played that. I played all the No More Hero games. I've played Shadow of the Damned. I've played San and More, which is like an excellent shmup that was apparently co-developed by Grasshopper Games. Lollipop Chainsaw, played through that. That was the one that was done with James Gunn. This is a weird one. Liberation Maiden, which was a DSiWare game, I believe, that was done with Level 5. And I've played Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, which was like the top-down hack and slash co-op. I played that co-op with a friend.
There's 4 mainline No More Hero games, right? Am I thinking that correctly?
No, there's 3.
Is there 3 then? There's the newer one.
And then this one, then Travis Strikes Again. Yeah, but that one came out between 2 and 3.
Okay.
I believe. And then there was also, and then they remade one, I think when they brought it to other platforms and called it something else, which is why, I don't know, it might be standing out. I'm pretty sure I got all my facts right. We'll see. I didn't play Killer is Dead or Let It Die or the visual novels like, what is it, Flower, Sun, and Rain or something like that.
Yeah.
Or the Silver Case. I didn't play either of those. But yeah, this man makes so many games. And from that point, I respect his output. Like, think about how many like auteurs are in the world. Like, this guy does. I mean, I respect Kojima's production and how this guy can be like as out there and creative as he is and still produce the games and get them to market. Good on him. But man, this guy's also getting it done.
Yeah,
and
he is.
He's doing it in his own way. And the thing that a lot of these games have in common is they're a little, they're definitely on the raw side. Killer 7 is probably the tightest game of all of these because it has the most narrow scope. And that's from Grasshopper Manufactured. I'd actually say, if you wanted to say objectively which one is the best, it's probably Sun and Mora, actually, the shmup. It's just, that game's kind of perfect. And then Shadows of the Damned as a game is just solid. It's clean. Yeah. Whereas everything else, and I'm getting somewhere with Romeo's Dead Man, it's hard to call them good.
I know maybe exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Maybe No More Heroes 1 or 2, but the rest of the games, it's hard to call them good. Technically, they could be a little bit messy. Gameplay, a little bit messy. It's like nothing about them has a level of polish that you would expect from a AAA, AA, triple I. Like, it's just kind of this. They're like the Grindhouse movies of games is the best way to think about it. So I'm a fan, clearly, with all the games I played, all things considered. And I according to the save file, it said it was about 13 hours. According to the Xbox, I played this on Series X. It said 18 hours or so. Not sure which one is right. Probably Xbox, because I don't think the save accounted for deaths. Let's start with, I was saying as we were getting on, I took a lot of notes here just to make sure I hit everything. So
hold on, before we get into all the details and all that kind of stuff, let me read these from the audience because you'll cover all this. This is from the One. Hello, Jason. I mean, Dead Man. What are your thoughts so far on Romeo as a Dead Man? This game is a Suda51 game through and through. It has a batshit crazy story, bad audio quality, mediocre graphics, a frame rate that drops to 20s, a great soundtrack, and fun gameplay. This game is basically No More Heroes 4 with a crazier premise, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Genesee Queer wrote and said, "Sup, Summoners. I love when Jason's on the show because he always playing some niche indie game that deserves more attention. I don't know if Suda51 is considered indie. However, Romeo is a Dead Man, looks to have the same creativity as an indie world. I fell in love with the original No More Heroes, but I haven't played anything else from Grasshopper. Is Romeo similar?" Okay. Now, Jason, we can get into the game and all your thoughts and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And the one has clearly played it.
Yeah.
And I know it because that's like a running gag in the game is you play as Romeo, but you are given this name Dead Man because it was kind of jump around. So I was going to go in my order of the notes. Basically, the game starts. You're driving on patrol. You're a sheriff at a town in Pennsylvania, and you run up on this guy in the road, and then you get attacked by zombies and you're about to die, and then your grandfather shows up from the future. It stabs you in the eye with this device as your head's like about to explode, puts this helmet on you, and then you become Dead Man. You're wielding a sword and you can start killing zombies. That's how it starts. Oh, and also your grandfather dies at the same time, but his spirit is stitched on your jacket, so he's constantly talking to you at the same time. Got it? Great.
So it's like the head basically from Lollipop Chainsaw, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. But if it was also trying to be Doc Brown from Back to the Future.
Okay.
So that's a part of it as well. So that's crazy. The gameplay itself it's a hack and slash, third person, basic melee combat. You also have a gun to go into third person shooting. Sometimes enemies will have a weak spot that you can shoot for extra damage. So basic combat, basic combos which never really change or evolve. You also have you build up this blood ability, so then that just gives you massive damage, and then also gives you some health back. You can unlock there's like 3 additional weapons. You could unlock 3 melee, 3 guns, and you can do that kind of immediately with the amount of money they give you. Then you get a separate currency to upgrade them. While I can upgrade the others, I kind of ended up in this weird situation like I do with Souls games that I played, and I haven't played a lot of them, but oftentimes the earlier weapons fully upgraded just seem to have better stats than anything new I get, which gives me a weird reason to be like, well, why would I use this thing if I just put all my money into this one that's just going to be worse? And the enemies are so repetitive that you don't really have an incentive to use another weapon. It never really gets difficult until the bosses, which are way out of balance with the rest of the game because the main combat is super easy and repetitive, and there's maybe like 5 enemy types in the whole game. And then you have these bosses, which are these giant things, which are interesting, but I'll get to that in a second. When you're in the main game, the camera's like way too close. Performance is solid on the Series X, but the camera's way too close, so it's a bit harder to do anything, I guess overly complex, because then you just wouldn't see anything. And it's satisfying, it's satisfying for what you do, but it's super repetitive. And I'm about to talk about a Dynasty Warriors game, and I'm telling you this is repetitive. So you get to the bosses, they're cool, they change things up, but they can feel very unfair because there's no iframes in the game. So you'll just get blasted by an enemy who just throws up on you. And if you're in the way, you're over even with a full health bar. Fortunately, there's this forgiving mechanic. So if you start dying, they'll spin a wheel. And what normally happens is you're choosing a stat buff for when you get revived. Oh, and the funny thing about the wheel, I'll get to the cast in a minute. Your mom is the one who's holding a knife and is the one pointing at the wheel. So she basically stabs the point in the wheel that it stops at. So that's cute. And So you can get an attack buff and defense buff. And then as you do it more times, they will actually add an option to revive, and the wheel starts going slower. So you can kind of brute force if you're struggling with the boss, which is kind of nice. The other part of the combat that's worth mentioning is the bastards mechanics. So you find seeds in the game, and you can plant the seeds, and they grow bastards, which are like zombies. And you do that through your sister, who is on the ship with you as well. And she kind of manages this farm for you. So she will identify the seeds, and then you plant the seeds. And then there's fun animation where you have to like grab them out of the ground, and you choose their names and their random ability. Like, oh, this person has a bad sense of humor. It's like, doesn't mean anything, but it's fun. That's just kind of a good way to sum up every Suda game. They don't really mean anything, but they're fun. And they have various attributes. So one may explode, one can like do like this hurricane attack, one can set up a healing zone, one can throw weak points on enemies to shoot them and make things a little bit easier. One, you roll like a bowling ball, and there was an achievement for that. Like there was clearly enemies aligned like pins. So I was like, oh, cool. I had the bowling ball bastards. Let me equip that and throw it. So that makes combat a little more interesting. But once I found the type of bastards that worked for me, all I really did was level those guys up, because none of the other abilities seemed interesting to me. I was like, that doesn't seem like it would help. And I know exactly what I'm going to get. So I'm just going to keep using these guys. But again, very funny. When I first started doing it and realizing, oh, this is Emily and she hates dogs. It's like, okay, great. And they just look like zombies. They all look like the same. Zombies, maybe different colors. You can also fuse them to make them stronger. And when you fuse them, you pit them in an arena to fight each other. Ooh. And they tell you exact like the odds of one winning or the other. And then whoever wins, then you get that one boosted. The presentation of the game is also kind of wild. So the main gameplay is the hack and slash stuff I was talking about. That's that 3D cell shading, very like a high-end Suda 51. He's had a very similar art style that's carried on since Killer 7, really. And you see that evolution. The deviations are the ones like Shadows of the Damned or Lollipop Chainsaw. But if you played a game like Let It Die or Killer 7 or any of those, or even No More Heroes, you're going to be right at home. And so you got that. Then you have your base, which is on a ship. And that's all in like 8 or 16-bit. It's all pixel art. Oh. Which is kind of cool. So you're running around, you could talk to these people. You got so many characters. The name of these characters is absolutely bonkers. So you're part of the FBI, which is a space-time police, obviously. And you're the cast of supporting characters. So you got Deputy Director Kimberly. Then you got Agent Blue Mountain, Agent Red Blue, Agent Silver Socks, Agent Worse Pink, Agent Green River, Agent The Black. And then you have your family, which is Marianne Stargazer and Luna Stargazer. You can talk to your mom on the ship and make katsu. And there's like a mini game to fry katsu. I never used katsu in the game, never needed to, but it's like some altering ability. The upgrade system is kind of cool. You actually play this kind of game that looks like a Pac-Man-like map. And as you funnel in money to that, you navigate around to pick up the upgrades that you want. So more gun damage, more sword damage, use health more, etc. So that's pretty cool. There's a whole bunch of other mini games that I'm not going to talk about because I'll be here forever. But other presentation things. So you have traditional cutscenes of sorts. Then you have anime cutscenes. There are comic book panels. These are all different ways they present the story. When you die, there's like a face, like it looks like a model of a head that melts all gross and gory like. And then when you resume, it'll reverse melt. There are stop motion models which show up every so often, like going through that town bird's eye view. You kind of see it stop motion. I think they only use that like a couple times. And then there's an interesting choice of slideshows, which is not the intent, but every so often you will enact they will show a conversation with you and Juliet at a diner. And it's you, Romeo, sitting at a table. Then Juliet comes in. Your sister's the server. So there's 3 people in this thing in an empty diner. And this cutscene runs at approximately 10 frames per second. It is unfathomable why it runs that way, but that's how it goes. So it's an interesting creative choice. Don't know if it's intentional. Everything else in the game runs fine for the most part. But that one in particular, diner scenes, which last about a minute max.
Yeah.
They just run like ass, and I don't know why. So yeah, all of that is the facts of the game. And when you throw it all in this stew, because I mentioned the story, people talk very cryptically as they do in a Suda game. I finished it. If you said what happened, other than what happened at the intro, I could tell you things that happen in the game. I told you about that you have conversations at a diner. One point they order cream soda, hold the soda. That's a thing that's said. You fry katsu. You go to different dimensions to chase down these enemies. You're like hunting down you're trying to find Juliet through all these different times, and you'll sometimes find her, and then it turns out that's not her, because instead this version of Juliet ripped off her head, threw it into a fire, and then turned into a giant monster that becomes a boss fight. As it happens, these things happen, of course. There's a through line of a plot, but I guess I don't understand it, but that I guess is the usual cryptic way that Suda operates. The gameplay is fun enough, but not great. And the presentation, it commits to every part along the way. So is it good? Do I recommend it? Interesting. Great. Yeah. And I've been thinking about this since I knew I was going to be on the show and playing the game. It's hard to say. If you're a Suda fan, yes, it's another Suda 51 game. You're going to like it. Of course. If you like, you're not going to play through all those games I rattled off before, come into this game and be like, wow, this sucks. No, you'll say, wow, this is another Suda 51 game. Awesome. He did it again. And then I'm playing this being like, yeah, he did it again. I'm happy I played through this game as a fan of Suda and see more of it. As I'm playing a game like this, I said, man, you know what? Why didn't I play Killer is Dead? I think it's because it came out too late at the PS3 life cycle when I was already on PS4. That could be why. I think Let It Die was free to play, which was kind of a turnoff. Yeah. So that's probably why I didn't play those games. But otherwise, I make time for a Suda game. They're pretty brief in their appearance. And if you know what they are, if everything I've said, you're like, that sounds so weird and crazy. And I didn't even get into the real weird and crazy stuff, which is how people talk, what they say. I've taken more screenshots in this game than any game I've played in recent memory. And I take screenshots constantly because I just like sending random screenshots to friends out of context and just seeing the reaction. Be like, hey, what do you think about this? I just said, I wish I had a screenshot on hand, but got a little tight for time when preparing for the show. But it's fun. It's fun in its chaos. If you like that, don't show up expecting something polished. Don't expect something that is on paper good. If you were to take each individual element of the game, everything would probably be a 6, to be honest, if that, because sometimes it just feels like there should be more here. Like, I think that if I had to say one thing that's objectively disappointing in the spirit of a Suda 51 game, like look it through that lens, where I can say as a Suda 51 game, it's probably an 8. As a regular game, it's probably more like a 6.5. But the one thing that actually did disappoint me is that they play with the idea of multiple dimensions and time periods. So at one point they say, hey, this guy is the guy you're going after. So each chapter is based around a certain target. And then you go after him and they're like, yeah, he actually came up in Rome. Like he was wreaking havoc there. And you're like, oh, sweet. We're going to Rome. And then they're like, no, actually, we're going to the exact same place you were at before. We just wanted to reskin this environment. They don't say that last part, but you know that's what happened. But like, well, how do we ship it? Well, we'll just use this same set piece 3 times. And we'll use subspace, which is this kind of means to connect levels, which is kind of cool, actually. It has a lot of great ideas. And every one of them is in this game. And I respect that everyone is in these games. Whether or not that's your jam, you just have to come in with certain expectations. Would I recommend this as a first Suda 51 game? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
What would be better? I don't really know.
Well, I still think pound for pound, Killer 7 is probably the best one, though it is the most unique. It is, I think it tells the most cohesive story, other than maybe Shadows of the Damned, which is way more straightforward and less heady. But if you want that heady Suda experience, Killer 7 scratches that itch. And it's very unique. Just go in expecting, I think it was hard to communicate what that game was. That game is a traditional adventure game where you're finding keys, you're unlocking doors, but you're on a straight path, and then occasionally you shoot guys. This one is when you're playing the game, you know what to expect because it's like a traditional character action game.
Yeah.
And it's a very okay one at that. So that's, I think I covered everything. I definitely didn't, but you get it. I hope you get it. Please get it.
Yeah. I guess like the biggest thing is for someone who isn't familiar with the Suda game, and we talk about all this kind of stuff, and like if you've played a Suda game, you know exactly what you're talking about and the feeling and the vibe. It's like, how do you sell Suda 51 to someone who's never experienced it before?
It's like an art project. It's like a LSD induced hallucinogen experience in a violent action game.
Mm-hmm.
And you're never going to, it's constantly going to zig and zag when you're thinking, hey, I'm comfortable here. Well, then it's like, well, we'll get to that. We'll get back to that in a minute. But first, mow this lawn, because that's basically what No More Heroes was, right?
Yeah.
Like No More Heroes kind of is the epitome of what a modern Suda game is, where it's like, all right, I'm an assassin. I got to kill these guys. I'm going to go through this hack and slash, fight a boss. And then it's like, no, hold on a second. We know you want to get to that, but real quick, you have to do a bunch of chores to get a bunch of money. So then you could do that. And those are going to be in a completely different art style. He always plays with the retro art style and then some sort of modern art style. But the guy always commits to the bit.
He does.
And he just doesn't care. Like there's a rawness to it. There's a potty humor to it, you know, like the fact that you save in No More Heroes by sitting on a toilet.
Yeah.
Like that's how you save in those games. You pull down your pants, you take out a newspaper, and then you're then you save your game. It's great. That's how I would sell it, I guess. If you want something that's quirky, just wild, and you're going to absolutely get style over substance. Every single time you're going to get style over substance, with the exception of these ones where I think this is when it's a pure Suda game. You see more on the rails, and I'd say more polish when he works with those collaborators, such as Shadow of the Damned, which still you could see the Suda in Shadow of the Damned, because you're not going to tell me that Mikami wanted your partner to be a floating skull named Johnson that attaches to your gun called the Boner. And then at one point you get it upgraded, and then Johnson says, quickly shoot them with your big boner.
Yeah.
That's a thing that happens in that game.
Yeah.
I don't think Shinji Mikami would have wanted to do that, but the game itself plays better than anything else. The story is way more cohesive. Sanemura, amazing traditional side-scrolling shmup, looks beautiful, plays great. Everybody speaks in Hungarian in the original release. Don't play with the English dubs. And I don't think, and at no point does it stop and say, hey, let's maybe play a pixel art minigame where we're putting out a fire with these furry cast of characters. That game's nuts. So yeah, that's how I would say it. It's style over substance. The music kicks ass. The visuals are great. You'll never be bored it's funny. You'll never be bored outside of gameplay, which is a weird thing to say.
Yeah, that's very funny and true.
So you're kind of working towards the next beat. And I look online, like I looked at the Reddit, I saw people were explaining it and talking about the story. Some guy went in and said, the story's clearly this. And I said, you know what? When you put it that way, that makes sense. Every so often I'll play a game or I'll play a thing that I'm a fan of. And then I'll look at the fans talking about it on Reddit or something. I said, maybe I'm not a fan of these things like I thought I was. These people get it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I'll be back for the next one, but I don't think I get it like these guys get it.
Yeah.
They're for what it's worth. Yeah.
But yeah, if you're looking for like anyone listening to this is a fan of video games and into video games, but if you're looking for something, I guess, extremely different and ambitious and someone who has like a clear vision for their games.
Yeah.
Suda's your man. It does come with caveats though, like Jason was saying, extremely rough technically, often much more lower budget, but there's something special there that keeps bringing people back. So definitely check out his games, because it's rough technically, mechanically, gameplay wise, everything about it's rough. Yeah.
But the fact that he does it all, like it's all in there.
Yeah.
And you got to respect it.
Yeah. Yeah. Super cool. Not a lot of guys like him in the industry.
No.
So check his shit out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Micah, let's move on to you next. Let's see what you're playing. Brigandine, the Legend of Runersia. Is that how you say it?
It might be Runersia. The game is fully in Japanese with English subtitles. And so they say it pretty quickly, but I think it's Runersia. They're rune knights. So
all right, we'll go with that then. All right, what is this?
It's amazing, first of all.
Okay.
I accidentally stayed up till 3:30 this morning playing it because I am obsessed. I started playing it because I was browsing the eShop for games with demos, and I saw that this was available, and I was like, oh, cool, because I want to check out the new one that they just showed in the PlayStation showcase. And I was like, well, all right, I'll play the demo of this. And I loved it, immediately bought it, and I actually even ordered a physical copy because I like it that much. So this game, the land of Runersia, is blessed with all this mana, and the elite knights of the kingdom are able to harness the mana, and they are known as rune knights. And the rune knights are also able to summon and command ancient monsters to fight their battles alongside them. So Runersia has 6 separate nations, and they've all been driven mad with power from the mana. This is like a very important part. That's like, in reality, they could all just be peaceful and coexist, but the mana has like basically done something to these people to make them so power thirsty. So there is just like constant turmoil and battles happening. So in the game, you will choose one of these 6 nations and attempt to conquer the entire continent. Where Brigandines comes in, and this was a little confusing at first, so they don't super explain it, but there's 5 legendary Brigandine, armor pieces, and so there's 6 nations, there's 5 of these legendary armors. So the power struggle to try and get one of them is part of the kind of everlasting war of this nation. And so each one has a different attribute like justice, glory, ego, and each nation, has their own. And so that is not super well explained in the game. I'm still not 100% sure what happens if I conquer a nation that has one. Do I get it? I don't know yet, but we're having fun. It's a tactical strategy game. It reminds me of Nobunaga's Ambition, but 10 times more fun, because I played that on Nintendo Switch Online and I liked it, but it's so slow. It's so grueling. And I was like, I like the concept, but this is so old. So you have a planning phase where you organize and arrange your army and summon monsters. Then you have the attack phase where you actually go invade other nations and try to take over their strongholds. The game has a challenge mode that you unlock after beating the game at least once in the standard mode. I assume it's just a higher difficulty. The difficulty in the game itself, there is a difficulty you choose of like how smart the AI is. And then the kind of built-in difficulty is that each nation has different borders. And different numbers of access points on the border. So the most inland nation that's bordered by like 4 other nations is going to be the most difficult to start with because you're trying to manage a war on all fronts. The easiest nation to start with is the one like way over in the corner that's only bordering like 2 places, right? So you have that kind of built-in difficulty, and you can choose where you want to start and how challenging you want it to be that way. The win condition is that you have to conquer the entire continent, and losing means losing all of your bases, all of your people. A cool thing is that your knights withdraw from battle. If they are defeated, they don't die. So like you're continually recruiting more and more knights, but if you lose a battle, they don't all die. They just withdraw to the next closest fort, which I love because otherwise this would be even more daunting. And I don't know, maybe that's part of the challenge mode. They might have permadeath or something like that in there. There's terrain conditions and things like that affect your monsters and how you fight, your evasion and all that type of stuff, your stats. You got to factor all that into your attack strategy. It's quite slow in terms of like sitting and thinking of your next move compared to something like Fire Emblem. I'm not like, sitting here for 30 minutes trying to make my next decision, okay? But you definitely taking a slower approach than something like Fire Emblem, where I'm like, I'm just gonna see what happens.
Right.
It's a little more casual. So I did consult some forums as like a brand new player to the game, just to get my bearings a bit, because there's some stuff that's just not explained. But once you're into it, it's just so fun. And I'm having a blast playing it. I'm absolutely hooked on it. The voice acting is really good. The story so far is nice. A couple weird things, like the evil emperor is named Tim. And, okay, like, because all the other characters, we have like GLaDOS and Elena and Rubio, and then it's like, and the evil emperor Tim Gustav. And I'm like, Tim Gustav, and like in all the scenes they're like, we have to defeat Tim.
That's
and I'm
funny.
like, bro, that was not translated well. Something got lost there, because there's no way his name was supposed to be. And he looks epic too. He's in this like fucking sick ass armor, and his name's just
Cool.
Tim. So that was kind of funny when it was not supposed to be, but I'm having a blast with this. The strategy, the planning, all of it. I'm so hyped for the next one now. Like, I'm itching for this next game to come out. I wish the original was on anything, but it's not, I don't think. Like, it's not on any other consoles. It's originally on PlayStation. So I wish they would remake that or do something. I need more of this. I need 10 more of these.
Oh, okay.
They just announced a new one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
In the State of Play, the recent one.
Yeah. I can't wait. Oh, yeah. One thing I didn't mention, if you're knights that aren't fighting in battles currently can be sent on quests. And the quests are just done automatically. Like, you send them on a quest, they come back with results. They might find equipment. They might find a new knight to join your ranks. And that's just another thing to kind of manage of, you don't want to leave your base totally unattended, but also you do need to send them out on these quests to get better, like, upgrades, armor, and new knights, of course. Like, that's the main way that you find them.
Yeah. So you select your ruler. Am I getting that right? Like, your main character. Do they have like unique skills for each of them, or like passive effects?
They do. Everybody has their default skill set and class, and then you can upgrade their classes as they level up. The game doesn't tell you hardly anything, though, when you're first getting started. So like, you choose which nation you want to start with, and so it's like, who the main person's going to be, but you don't know who like your strongest knights are. Like, once you actually start it, then it's like you get your like starting ranks of knights and everything. So that's like kind of like a little surprise once you actually get started. But yeah, you pick your like main nation and ruler, and it's so cool because like I chose kind of the default nation that like they recommend for beginners, but there's like a pirate nation, there's a shinobi nation, like there's like a theocracy, and I assume that they're going to have more like magic users and stuff, whereas I have a lot of like knights on the ground with swords. It's just so fucking cool, man.
Sick. Yeah, it's grid based, it looks like, I guess.
Yeah. And
it's not like Final Fantasy Tactics grid based, but
no. And actually, it looks super messy when you first get started because they're like hexagons. Yeah. And it's cool later because of the functionality that it gives you. But it looks really messy at first, and kind of like if everyone's clumped together, you kind of sit there for a second like, what the hell's happening? Where are my guys? But one neat thing the game does is, so when it's your turn, it automatically puts the cursor on this guy. And because you move like squad by squad. And so then after his action, it'll automatically move to his next teammate who's, and you don't have to go in that order, but for ease of seeing things, it's just nice that it kind of bumps the cursor from person to person. And you can do it that way, because when the battlefield gets really like kind of small as everyone clumps up, it's like hard to tell sometimes what's going on.
Okay. I'm looking at this on stores, and it is on sale right now for like a day or two more by the time you guys hear this. So it's like $8 pretty much.
Yeah, dude, $8. I was like, let me try out this demo real quick. I don't know if I'm going to like it. And it blew me away. I immediately bought it because I would have just bought the physical, but I was like, I need this in time for Summon Sign. Mm-hmm. And so then I ended up finding the physical on sale from PlayAsia. So I was like, well, I got it for basically like $41, let's say.
Yeah. Okay, very cool. Another tactics RPG, Micah, our enthusiast. of the group. Micah approved. So there you go.
I looked up Tim. Tim does look like a badass. He's got this crazy frilly stuff going on here. I found an image where he's being introduced. Says, pulling back his hood, the man revealed himself to be Tim Gustav, the young emperor of the Holy Gustav Empire.
Because I saw him in the intro scenes, and I was like, "Oh, whoa, that guy looks cool." And then when they actually show him, and I'm like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me! His name's just Tim." Because everyone else has just I don't know, better names, just way better names. And I don't know, that one gets a chuckle out of me every time they bring him up. So maybe they intended that, maybe they didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, what sucks more about that is as a kid, people definitely called him Timmy. You got to think about that.
That's the thing, right? Like Emperor Timmy Gustav. I'm like, I don't know. They didn't even go with Timothy. Like Timothy still would have been like in the context of this game where everyone else has kind of like weird names. Like there's a lady named Silvestri, and here's another, and it's like, okay, Tim. Like, it's fucking nuts.
It's weird. Tim Allen, yeah. All right. What I've been playing a little bit of is Crisol Theater of Idols. So this is from, I guess it's Blumhouse or Blumhouse. I don't know exactly what it is, but they are the publisher. They've done a bunch of like horror movies and stuff like that. This game is basically, I guess it's Spanish. I'm trying to think. Spanish BioShock is how I would describe it. Let me read this from Aaron Robb real quick. Greetings, Summon Signers. Brad, how are you enjoying Crisol? I plan to write in this week with it as the audience game recommendation. For me, it's a perfect budget BioShock meets Resident Evil. It harkens back to when we used to get shooters that experimented with mechanics. I'm also playing Romeo as a dead man, so I'm excited to hear Jason's thoughts on what might be Suda's best endeavor yet. Wow. Keep that summon sign circle open just a little longer. All right, so I've played about like 2.5, 3 hours of this game right now, and visually, if you look at it, it looks exactly like BioShock. They're clearly inspired, but I'm not saying in the sense like it does not take place in an underwater city. It takes place on a weird island where there's like some weird cult. You are like a worshiper of the sun, basically this guy, and you're here to stop this other god. And right away, one mechanic I think is kind of interesting is basically the weapon I have right now, which is like a pistol, you don't have normal ammo for it. You know how most games you walk around and you find some bullets or something like that. It's not how it works here. Basically is your ammo is your blood. And to get ammo, you need to absorb your health and turn it into bullets. So you got to be careful. Like some encounters, you're like, okay, well, multiple guys, I could waste all my bullets, but then I'm going to have to drain my health to get more ammunition. That means I can get taken out way easier. So that's kind of something you have to juggle throughout the game. I am playing on the normal difficulty. There's 3. And I think it's a little too easy. Now, resource-wise, I expected it to be a little more tight on the resource management, but that's okay. Basically, you're fighting so far, what I've been fighting are these really weird looking dolls that run around, like Pinocchio kind of dolls, like Liza P almost. And it's kind of cool. You can shoot them. You can like shoot off their head and they'll still come at you. You can shoot off a limb and they'll still crawl at you. You can blow off half their body and they'll still kind of move around. They're not completely dead. And when you kill something, you get this currency to upgrade a bunch of your skills. And what I like about that is everything's pretty expensive. I've only upgraded like 1 or 2 things so far. Because not only do you need this resource to do it, you need like another item, another currency to do it, like these like weird crow effigy things. So you can do that. You have a knife as well earlier on that you can use to not only damage guys, but parry some attacks. And it feels extremely weird to parry. I did it like a couple times and it felt very like I got lucky sort of thing. Think of the dodge in Resident Evil 3, the original, if you ever played that, where you're just kind of like, yeah, I guess this is how it kind of works. I'm not exactly sure. So I'm not really in touch with that, but the narrative is handled very much BioShock-like. You are walking around first person all the time. You have a radio. People talk to you through that. You do meet more people than you do in BioShock, like face to face, but there is a lot of that going on there. So there's this huge cult. There's these 2 factions fighting. Like I said, you worship the sun. So you're with other sun people right now. this area you go through this game, or like the setting the game takes place, I think is like the strength of the game, the art direction. I really like the locations you go through. It's like this very rainy, almost like seaside harbor town mixed with Catholic. I don't know, think of Blasphemous if you've played that, like really gothic Catholic kind of imagery. And so you're going through the city. Right now I need blood of these specific characters to progress to like the main thing. And I've gone through like a bar, nightclub kind of thing. Really cool interiors. I've really dug all that stuff. Some really cool visuals. Performance wise, it's okay for the most part. It never really drops below 60 that I noticed too much. But if you play like higher frame rates, like I have it uncapped right now, it's definitely not going above 60 that often. It's kind of fluctuating, and I can notice that. Most people, like Micah right here, who can't see frame rate, it won't fucking matter. But it is there. I did run into I did have a crash also that I lost like 10 minutes of progress. So I'll see if there's more of that kind of thing, because you do need to get to save points as far as I'm aware. There's like little crystal balls. You save that. But yeah, I'm out like on a mission to get the main first person I need. It seems like there's a hub you go back to, because there's like upgrades there as well. There's little carnival games you could play there, like one like shooting a water gun to put out a fire. And I got tickets, and with these tickets I could use to buy some items. I got like a piece of a map, and there's like more pieces, so I don't know exactly what it does. But it is a very interesting game. It is rough around the edges. I know I saw the devs saying they were like continuing to patch it, of course, and get bugs and all. They're going to add ultra wide. There is no DLSS yet. They're going to add that. So it's a little rough on the technical aspects. Some of the enemy AI is very dumb. There's like this enemy, kind of a cool enemy, almost like a nemesis kind of enemy that showed up at a part where I had to hide from it and de-aggro it, then slowly crank a wheel to open a door while it's not around. And it's really easy to ditch this thing. It like can't go inside anything like that. I just like walked through a little wall, and it just stares at you, then walks away immediately. I was like, oh, it's a little too easy to outsmart this guy, which is kind of a shame. So they got to work on that. But like I said, rough around the edges, but I like it. I think the art direction is really cool. The whole mechanic of blood, using it as ammunition, is pretty interesting. Oh yeah, there's like also like dead animals or dead people you could absorb to get like blood to get your health back. And some of these things give you memories. Like you'll need to do this for story stuff to like find out where something is. So they're kind of working that into the plot, which is kind of interesting, but a little too easy so far for my liking. I should have bumped it up a little more. Hopefully you can still mid-game, but I do like the game. I plan on finishing the game. I think there's something interesting there. Rough around the edges, but a cool concept, cool art direction. So if you like BioShock and you're looking for something similar to that, not on that level. Let me be clear, it's not on the level of BioShock at all.
That's not no. I'm taking it that this is the next BioShock.
It's not the next BioShock, but this game clearly was inspired by BioShock. So if you like some BioShock things, you may be interested in this. It's relatively cheap too. I think it's $18. So easy to get into. I'm playing on Steam right now. I know it's on PlayStation. I am guessing it's on Xbox as well. Mm-hmm. So it is there. Also, the voice acting is kind of rough a lot of times too. I'm like, the way that characters speak or how they say things, I'm like, no one talks like this. This is awesome. Like a little too wooden right here. I don't know if English is like their second language or whatever. I have no idea, but it's cool. I do like the game. I do want to play more. So I'll probably report back in future weeks whenever I get a chance to finish it. So there you go. Cool. All right.
What about if I'm a big Liza P fan. Love it. Like absolutely love it. And this seems to scratch the at least the setting itch.
Yeah.
So
atmosphere
kind of deliver in that same sense of,
I would say so. You know, it's like less Victorian, more gothic. Okay. I guess I would say less like steampunky. Like the dolls aren't like, they seem more like wooden instead of like machine kind of thing walking around. But got it. Yeah, you can get some of those vibes there.
This one's on my wish list. One of my friends put it on my list, and I'm not a horror guy per se.
It's not scary.
Funny. Well, I talked about Romeo as a dead man. Like I'm not into gore or anything like that. So some moments I was like, oh, that was gross, but then I quickly moved past it. But this has been on my list just the vibes of it speak so much to me.
Yeah,
and
it has really good vibes. Yeah,
the effects of the weapons look really cool too. Just the way that you're like reloading, I guess. Is that what's going on when you just raise it up and the blood is filling up in the pistol?
Yeah, basically your gun has like spikes that come out and it sticks into your hand. Of course, it starts making you bleed. So then it goes up to the gun. That's what I was like at first, Micah. Like, ugh. But then like you get really used to it immediately after.
That's as a theme. Everyone knows I have like, phobia of blood like in real life, but as a theme, sometimes it bothers me as well, which is why like that game Vampire, where you're like a doctor vampire. Yeah. There are times when I was like, it's a little too much for me. I was just like, it's the theming of it even. It's just like, eh. So something like this is like, sounds cool on the surface, but I probably wouldn't last very long playing this before I noped out.
Yeah. I just need to, you just reminded me of something that's been bothering me a few days ago. So I manage a hockey team, like a beer league hockey team. So right now we're between seasons and I'm chasing down people to say, are you in next season? You in next season? One of my buddies, I sent him a message. I was like, dude, you in? He's one of our better players. He's like, yeah, but I'm recovering he's like, yeah, I just need to wait for my hand to get better. I'm like, what happened? Instead of telling me, he sent me pictures of his smashed hand.
Oh my God.
Like, don't do that. I was like, scroll. And then like spam messages so that I never have to see it again in the chat. It's like, that was fucked up, man. Come on.
No, dude, like I have a friend on Facebook who is like very clumsy and has like no problem just like showing people like, here's what I did this week. And it's like, I didn't want to see it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see it. There's one picture she posted that's still like, this has probably been now 8 years ago. I still see it when I shut my eyes. Okay. Like it was horrifying. And I'm like, didn't want to see that. Thanks for sharing it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gross.
All righty. Guys, it's time for Sort It Out. In this segment, we talk about something we're not pleased with in the game industry that needs some work. Jason.
Do people have anything this week, Brad? I feel like you could skip it this week. I don't know if anyone has anything to say.
It's a slow week. We'll see, though. We'll see what people got. Jason, what about you? Anything that you could possibly think of?
Look, man, I know where this is going. All right. I'll let the listeners kind of go to that, but let me do two others because I can't. Look,
Okay.
I work with these people, so I need to be careful with what I say. I'll just be straight up about it. When I come in with the Sorted Out, they're usually very silly. Like, where's Darksiders 4? Well, guess what? It's coming. So I got a couple Sorted Outs. One, which is not really games related, but I did engage with this on an Xbox. Therefore, I'm getting it in here. And it's also probably the biggest platform I'll be able to say something about this. Peacock. Sorted out. I subscribed to watch the Olympics, mainly just the hockey. By the way, congrats to the U.S. men's and women's hockey teams. Great games. Amazing, really amazing hockey games. So if you guys watch it, they were great. But Peacock, man, you got to sort that shit out. I signed up for the highest tier so I wouldn't have to watch ads. I know that I'm going to have to watch ads as part of the broadcast.
Right.
But if I'm paying for the highest tier, don't make me watch a mandatory 15-second ad every single time I want to watch an event. Sort it out. That's messed up. Sometimes the stream was choppy. Again, I'm not going to knock it. I understand streaming is harder. But if I refresh to say, oh, maybe it's the connection, bam, another 15-second ad. It's like, come on. So sort that out. Peacock. Gaming related, Nintendo last week released the Xenoblade Chronicles X update for Switch 2. Very cool. I've heard mixed things, of course, on whether or not it's good, but my Sorted Out is like, that game ran very well, even at 30 FPS. I thought it looked great, played great. Why did that come before 2 and 3? The games that actually truly need upgrades for Switch 2 and the ones that I would immediately replay? Couldn't tell you. Sort it out. Give them to me now. You know they'll come eventually, but come on, Nintendo, give it to me. I'm looking for an excuse to play Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Man, it's good stuff. So sort it out. Give it to me sooner rather than later. Thank you.
Yeah, I haven't played 3. I've been waiting for an update as well, pretty much. Because I'm not playing that shit on 30 frames on stinky Switch 1. Dude, kidding me?
It's still great.
Kidding me? I waited this long though. I'm waiting.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, it's worth it. Cool. But that's it. And obviously I'll comment on the actual stuff that people want to deal with.
Yeah. Micah, what about you? Anything for you?
Mine is that, and I know that it's just how Nintendo operates. It is so weird that they didn't acknowledge Zelda's 40th birthday, even anything, a tweet, a post on Facebook, nothing. Okay. And I know that like it's the 40th year, they can do anything at any point, but to not even just tweet on the actual day, all of your fans are making all these tweets about their favorite Zelda memories. I'm seeing Reddit threads about what's your favorite Zelda moments. Post them here. For Nintendo to just on the actual day, not even bother to make a tweet. Everybody's posting all their cum tributes to Zelda and all this stuff, and they couldn't even be bothered to do anything. Just sort it out, Nintendo. Like, we just have like very little expectations of like, you could just make a tweet. You know, encourage your audience, because people are making their own share your favorite memory threads. Why don't you make one and have people share their favorite memories, and you could kick that off instead of everybody else is doing it. It's just weird. And they do this all the time, and we should expect it. But it's still just fucking weird and strange.
Yeah. I guess they're probably like, well, if we do that, people are going to be like, is that it? That's all you're doing for the 40th anniversary? And if we have plans, we don't want to say anything yet. So maybe they're just like, well, not say anything at all. But it is still very frustrating. I'm like, come on, guys. This is like
exactly
one of your premier franchises.
Just post a picture of Zelda with a little birthday cake. Like, you know, I'm not saying you have to tell us your next plans. I'm not saying you have to actually tell us what the big 40th anniversary thing is, if there is one. But Jesus Christ, to not just post a cute little picture of Zelda with a cake and the little old scientist lady. I don't know, something. Give us something. This just felt so weird.
Yeah, super weird. I assume we'll get it later on. Like we said, Mike, off camera or off air, but it's like, come on. Can you even give me like a little thumbnail or something you make? Some guy whip up or a screenshot from the game, for God's sakes.
Dude, I don't know, new player icons for your Switch profile. Like, just something on the actual day while everyone else tweets about how much they love it. And Nintendo themselves is just like not even acknowledging it.
Well, I'll tell you.
Or not even saying thanks for all the love to you know what I mean? Just nothing.
Yeah, well, Zelda at least has a better chance of getting recognition from Nintendo than Metroid. Metroid, you're probably going to get dick because it's also its 40th anniversary.
Or my favorite neglected Nintendo IP, which is Star Fox.
Oh, super neglected.
Like
Nintendo doesn't know what the hell to do with Star Fox. So.
Where is that man?
There you go.
We need more.
I'm telling you, man, just have the Ace Combat team make a new Star Fox game. There you go.
Oh yeah. Do you think at any point Star Fox Adventures, it has to, right? It has to come to
game. Yeah. To NSO. Yeah, I think so.
NSO, yeah. Oh, can't wait. I love
it's
that
first
game. I don't care what anybody says. I love it.
It's second party.
Yeah. First party published. Rare developed it, but it's Nintendo IP.
They own it. Yeah. So I don't see why not. But you know, Nintendo, they're weird.
Dude, Star Fox fans are so starved. Okay, I'm seeing conspiracy theories that he's gonna appear in the next Mario movie. Somebody's like, there's like a screen, there's like a still, and someone's like, I think this is a Star Fox reference, and it's like, brother, this is a really big reach.
That would be
that he's gonna be in it.
That's sad.
If they got him in the movie before they even made him a guest character in a Mario Kart game, like, come on, there's no way. I can't imagine that.
Yeah, just put him in Mario Kart, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Get him in there. Give him a little R-Wing car, you're good to go. Or his little tank car or something like that, the Landmaster.
Oh, dude, the fucking the Kirby fucking racing game. He'd be even better in that. Yeah. Zooming around. That could be very fun. Just throw him in there.
The best Star Fox game you can play, though, I'm a dark horse here. If you haven't played, what was that Ubisoft game, Starlink? I played Starlink, that game as a Star Fox game. The moment I started the game, you could on Switch, you can choose Fox, and then he's just there. He's the main character, and I just assume I'm on a Fox adventure. I'm in the R-Wing. I couldn't tell you anything that happened in that game other than I was playing a Star Fox, blowing stuff up in space, and that game's actually pretty good.
They had
this
to make
is what we have
Star
to
Fox
do.
Zero instead.
Like,
when
you're a fan of a dead franchise, you have to seek out things that are very similar to it It's why I'm gonna try out Pokemon Pokopia, because I don't really like Pokemon, but everyone says it's a lot like Viva Pinata, which I love, and it's never coming back. Nope. So this is what we have to do. When you love a dead franchise, you're like, well, what's the second best thing, closest thing to it?
Yeah, if you want a modern Star Fox game, play Whisker Squadron.
There you go. Yeah,
it's pretty solid. It's like a roguelike Star Fox game.
Pretty much fans of those games now are making the replacements for them.
Yep.
So you got to go to the indie space usually.
A lot of sorted outs here.
Obviously. Well, there's a couple things you could say this week, but I'm going to stick with Herman Holst specifically for closing Blue Point Studios. I don't understand why you have this premier porting and remake studio make a live service God of War game when they have no experience with that. Maybe they pitched it, and I respect that, but someone at Sony should have just been like, no, we have enough teams doing this kind of stuff. You should stick with what you're good at for now. They did Demon's Souls remake, which was very good. They did Shadow of the Colossus remake, which is also very good. I have a couple qualms with their art direction occasionally, but overall they do an amazing job. They did amazing ports of games like the Metal Gear Solid collection back in the day and all that kind of stuff. They are a very talented studio and a very low count, I believe, team as well. I think there was like 60 or 70 people there, which is relatively small for like a AAA. Are they AAA, do you think? Yeah, I guess they're owned by Sony, so they would be.
Yeah. I mean, Demon's Souls is absolutely
which
AAA.
Is honestly still one of the best looking PS5 games I think out there. Looks amazing, runs amazing. So they did a great job with that. Of course, you have the thing that everyone's been wanting forever, a Bloodborne remake or even a port, and we never got that. And out of all the studios you could close from PlayStation, you got Media Molecules been doing jack shit forever, doing little dreams things. That's all they've done since the PS3 era, as far as I'm aware, which was a failure. You got Bend, who had their other game canceled as well. You close the tiny little studio that's in Texas. That's probably a lot cheaper to run than a lot of your other studios. You close that one. You have so many IPs that fans want to come back in a remake form or remastered form. You could have done all that kind of stuff. But you decide to close Blue Point. Out of everybody. Another, I don't know if it's like all his call, but he has made many mistakes, in my opinion, Herman Holst. I don't understand what the hell he's doing. I'm very confused about why he's so high up. He did get demoted at least before. Maybe he needs to get demoted again, especially when he thought Concord was the future of the next Star Wars. I think this guy is not a tastemaker that they need running all that kind of shit right now. So sort it out, PlayStation. Herman Holst, what the fuck are you guys doing right now? You're not doing great right now. At least you've been smart and not showing fair games, because that game's pretty much already dead on arrival. So
no, it's the next big thing. No, Brad, no, you're wrong. It's gonna be huge. Like he's in his office screaming, like, it's always Bloodborne. Why don't they like the other things I came up with? And it's like all the people want is Bloodborne. And he's like, I've given you Concord, I've given you fair games, but you don't want those.
Yeah, the Hunter's Gathering, where there's that humongous chick with the tiny peanut head. They could be a character. Everyone wants to play as her. Why doesn't anyone like this character? What's going on here?
He's like, I thought it'd be like Roadhog from Overwatch. Yeah, it's like Roadhog's funny.
Yeah, it's like it feels like he and whoever else is agreeing with him is extremely out of touch on what people want right now. And it's just like you're making a lot of bad calls, it feels like, all around. I want to say something that maybe sounds a little controversial. Okay.
I feel like they do know exactly what people want, but they don't like their audience and they don't want to make what their audience wants. If you here's the thing, like, just being honest, gamers, primarily straight white men. If you got a problem with that and you don't want to make games for primarily straight white men and you want to do your art project, that's totally cool, but you can't expect it to sell gangbusters it's just not going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
It feels like if you want to make games for the artsy, high-minded crowd, you have to expect they're not going to sell the same, right? And it feels like they are flabbergasted.
It's not even
they don't sell the same.
These games aren't even for like the high artsy crowd at all. They're going for the live service market with the
exactly.
widest
No, that's what I'm saying. They're trying to find the live service crowd who is also very much into social justice, who's also very, you know what I'm saying? And that doesn't exist. They're trying to find a broad audience with like a very narrow view of what they want as well. And it's just like, I don't know, man. It seems like if you don't like your customer or like understand them and you don't want to make what they like, it's like, you don't have to make what we like, but we don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what's going to keep happening. Like, if your target gamer is like, you know, like, oh, we only want to appeal to like artsy people of color. And it's like, I don't know, man, how many of them are buying this?
Yeah, your Dustborns and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I just don't know what they're doing.
I always thought that the primary goal of a first party, and things are different now because of the shift of more of a democratization. Let's see if I can get this out of my mouth. The democratization of platforms, right? Where you kind of play anywhere and do your thing. Like, I know it's kind of a funny way that Xbox communicates their things, but it's true. Like, the amount of people that are growing up playing on phones, they don't care about consoles as much. Sure, the Switch still sells well, PS5 still sells well, whatever. But the primary purpose of first party development always seemed like to sell the box. Get me the flashiest thing that's going to flex the power of the box to sell that thing. And even now, it's almost as important as it was back in the day, because if you get people on your box to play something like Fortnite, that's a thing that comes up a lot. I think Colin brings it up a lot. It's like Sony's making a ton of money. Like, they don't even have to make another game. Sony's making a shit ton of money, just taking 30% of everybody else's dollar. It's like, great, cool, good for them. They gave the platform. They're entitled to it. Go for it. Cool. I'm not knocking that. But at some point, you're going to chase that trend. You're competing with the people that already have that established audience. Like, the fact that the top games have been around for the last 10 years or so, whatever it is, it's so hard to penetrate that market. Sure, every so often you'll get lucky with a Helldivers 2 or even like a Marvel Rivals, but it's so difficult. They have to understand that just like anything that's high reward, it's super high risk. And to forego the ability to also create the games that sell the box, that seemed like the thing that Bluepoint would be able to do best, knowing with their prowess on Demon's Souls. Like, pick an IP that's a crowd pleaser, common IP, make it as pretty as possible. And that is purely, we'll probably make a margin on we'll probably make a profit because, you know, we know what it is. We know how many people are going to buy it based on the audience. Is it going to give us the hundreds of millions of profit that we expect? No, but man, is it going to look good and sell the box? Yeah. I think that's kind of a missing part of the calculus, because they're looking more blue ocean, I think, if that's the right term to say, we have this hit that's going to transcend PlayStation. That's going to get the billions of people that don't have PlayStation but are playing on their PCs. And then it could go to phones, and then you got the world at your tips. So that's the other disappointing part.
They thought Concord would be that.
Sure.
How did you
think?
They
sure did.
Yeah.
How do you think that? It's like, I don't know, man. They need like a reality check or something in there. Like, you guys don't know what people want. You don't know.
No. And seriously, the fucking Last of Us factions, whatever, getting canceled. What? Like, here you have something unique to you. You know, here you have something people really wanted, and that's what gets canceled. Like, obviously, I don't know why. I don't know how fucked up that project was that they said, you know what, we better just cancel the whole thing. But dude, like, this is just bonkers. That it's like, here's something that's a combination of what you're saying, Jason, of something that's like, oh my God, beloved in quotes, it's Last of Us. We got controversies there, but like characters people really care about and mass appeal online game. Can we do it? And they're like, no, we can't do that right either.
Yeah. The other issue I think with Concord, because I was actually listening to Jaffe and Colin talking before, and they were talking about this, and Jaffe was saying, no, the game was actually fun to play. It was a competent shooter. I think the biggest mistake they made is not understanding the audience that plays these kind of games, and not from I need hot characters. It's like, I'm not talking about the Marvel Rivals. Make sure you're looking at good butts all day. Like, we know it. We know why Marvel Rivals is successful. Okay, they got great butts in the game, and when you get bored with that, then you can play a Spider-Man. That's why people play Marvel Rivals. You got it. Cool. Now, the reason why I think Concord made its biggest misstep was that it introduced the game as this long ass movie in their presentation, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. It looks like Guardians, I guess, but maybe I'm about to get some sort of traditional PlayStation third person game, like a traditional PlayStation game. Where's the sad dad? I don't know. I'll get one of those in there. But that's what I expected to see. And then they didn't show any gameplay. And then when you found out, oh, that's actually a live shooter, you're like, what? So you disappointed the core crowd that was expecting more single player content. And you didn't appeal properly to the people that are more gameplay first, that are playing live service games. I think that's the other issue of Highguard, is that you start off showing that dude. And then it almost felt like a bait and switch halfway through that trailer, because I was on board. I mean, that guy was weird, but I was like, whatever. Then you show the guy riding a horse and he's shooting people, and it looks like a very unique vibe. I'm like, this looks pretty badass. And they're like, and it's like online only. I'm like, oh, I'm out. But I'm not the guy that's going to support a games of service. And I think PlayStation was thinking, we could have our cake and eat it too. We can have all these characters. Everybody in our audience likes narrative driven stuff. So we're going to focus this live service game on the narrative. Whereas people will get themselves attached to characters with these live service games, but they don't really attach to the story and things like that until they're invested in the game itself. Like Overwatch, all that stuff was delivered through small web videos and things like that.
I ignored all of it. I loved Overwatch, but I ignored it all.
Right. First and foremost, people played the game. Like, you have to lead with the game. I think that's where they actually stumbled first and foremost.
Well, when they showed Overwatch for the very first time, the very first thing they showed, I believe, was a cinematic trailer. They did show gameplay right after though, so that's good. Okay. But I think with that cinematic trailer, people immediately liked those characters right away and their charm and all that kind of stuff. And I think Concord had a very, Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy vibe. And by the time that it was shown, it's like people were over that whole kind of storytelling method of quips constantly and all that kind of shit. And it's like, no one's going to give a shit about these characters like Star Child. All right. It's like, you look at these characters, they all look like shit. None of them look cool. So no one wants to play as them or get invested in them. So that was a bad thing right away. And of course, like you said, all the story stuff, people are like, what is this? I'm not going to watch videos on these cutscenes on these characters I don't give a shit about. It's like, no one cared about that.
There's also, I think Blizzard also had the advantage because Overwatch came out at peak Blizzard, right?
2016 it came out.
And they always had the online blood in them. Like, their audience was expecting online games.
Yeah, of course.
So, the characters, of course, big part of it. But I think that they had the cachet that in that space that Sony doesn't.
I agree with you 100%. So that's what's going on in PlayStation land right now. Very annoying, but we'll see. Xbox has had its own troubles. We'll get into it now from the listeners. For the Belt wrote in, said, sorted out Sony and Microsoft. This one is a sort of a double sorted out due to the strange times we are in. Microsoft is just cooked. The spirit of Xbox is long dead. They're just now finally being honest about it. Treat them like EA, Ubisoft, etc. from here on. For Sony, all you have to do is be fucking normal, and you can't do that. Put some exclusives from first parties every few months or so. Contract second parties to do live service bullshit, and let the money pour in from the disaffected Xbox players. But no, Herman Munster wants to try and reinvent the fucking wheel. I get it. You won by default, so you have some wiggle room. But sort out your shit and don't just abandon everything that made you premium consoles platform. Just be fucking normal. Yeah, people are very frustrated about the seeming and the reality of Sony chasing a lot of this live service stuff, which is fine, but not enough single player stuff. The reason why people were there in the first place.
Yeah. What is normal? What is normal?
What is normal
in these crazy times? What is normal?
These unprecedented times.
One might ask, in these unprecedented times, what is normal? Where most people playing games are actually playing Fortnite and Roblox.
Yeah, a lot of people are. Yeah. Michael Caswell said, hey, Summoners, I have a sorted out for Embark. I absolutely love Arc Raiders. However, the trophies are absolutely fucked in this game. And months after launch, they're still not fixed. As a trophy hunter who really wants to platinum Arc Raiders, it's very lame that many trophies won't pop for feats I've already achieved. Embark, sorted out. Cheers from Canada. Damn, that's got to be frustrating.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's got to really suck. Yeah. Feel bad. It has been a long time. Arc Raiders came out in like October. Yeah, patch that shit. Fix it. Like, what are you doing? Fix it. Come on. And Lem Stees wrote and said, Summoners, what's up? My sorted out this week is not gaming related, but it goes out to the boomer generation when it comes to washing their hands in public restrooms and being sanitary. I was in a public restroom with my son, and as he was in the stall and I was waiting outside the stall, when I noticed an older gentleman who went and used the urinal. Upon exiting said urinal, he proceeded to go directly to the exit, 5 exclamation or question marks. So now we're just taking a piss, handling the merchandise, and leaving? I've only noticed this with older generations. What the fuck, man? Anyways, keep up the content and love everyone else. Stay safe out there. That's ridiculous. Just wash your hands.
Don't be ageist. Don't be ageist, first of all. There are animals of all ages.
Young people.
That's true.
Yeah, there are dirty monsters pissing and not washing their hands of all ages. All right, we've seen of all ages. Don't just attack the older generation.
That's right.
No, we got the guy in the Discord that doesn't wash his shins. All right, like
wait,
that's all ages.
Wait, what?
All ages can be dirty.
Shins.
He don't wash his legs. He says the soap, it runs down your body, and you don't have to wash your legs. That's what he says.
That is a man who is in deep trouble. Like, if you're too lazy to like that for most people is the one time you get close to reaching down and touching your toes like you used to do in gym class. And this man is wasting that opportunity because he's too lazy to reach down. No. Come on, man. Sort it out. Sort that out.
I mean,
you're gonna
like a little spray down or something.
At least.
You're gonna drop your phone, reach down your neck, and your back's gonna snap like a twig, and you're gonna wonder why. It's because you didn't wash your dirty legs.
You haven't bent over in 15 years. I will say though, I do know a boomer aged man who showers with his clothes on to wash them.
What?
And that peak efficiency, perhaps? I don't know, but
I don't think so.
It's an idea. Brad, just try it once and report back.
Does he take off the...
No, it's not calling.
Does he take off the clothes as he's washing them? Or he walks in with clothes, out with same clothes?
He gets in, my understanding, because of course I've not observed, my understanding, he gets in with the clothes on, gets wet, soaps up, and like rinses, removes and rinses himself.
Okay.
But he does that every day. That's how he washes his clothes.
Every day?
Well, that's how he washes his clothes. Like, you think he's going to do a load of laundry, like putting them on?
Dude, for what he's doing right now, that wouldn't surprise me.
Well, if you had like
a psychopath.
If you had like 3 outfits, yeah, I guess you could do that. That's crazy. That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. But
that is fucking crazy, dude.
No, it's nuts. I'm not saying it isn't crazy, but the most sane way to do it would be to you're wearing your clothes from work, you come home, you hop in the shower, dude, and you're just doing this every day.
I'm less offended by this than the guy not washing his hands.
I'm offended at everything, all right? Like, you're all
Please wash your hands.
Please wash your hands. Wash your fucking legs.
Wash your shins.
Dude, use a washing machine or something. Why? Why are we doing this?
Tell me the guy's not washing his feet either?
Dude, wash your feet. Then it's is he not washing his taint? What is he doing?
If he's not washing his legs, he's definitely not washing his feet. He's not scrubbing his toes. He's probably one of the people that like kicks around some shampoo and calls it good enough. We all know someone like that who's just like kicking around conditioner and they're like, yeah, my feet are clean.
It's fucking crazy, dude. I don't understand, man. I just don't understand. Why can't people have some respect for themselves?
And
please.
Others.
It takes like 30 seconds.
For yourself and others, please. God's sakes. All right. Guys, it's time for Keep It Up. Stuff we're pleased with in the gaming industry. Jason.
Yeah, keep it up. Establishments that put the paper towels to dry your hands next to the door, so I don't have to touch door handles that have been touched by people who just pissed without washing their hands. So that's what I'd say. Keep it up to those guys. Gaming related, got to go for the home team here. I want to say keep it up to Fabraz. They are the developer of Bubsy 4D for us, but they just released their own game that we've had nothing to do with, but which was a big reason why we entrusted them with Bubsy 4D, and that's Demon Tides. So that came out last week. The reviews have been great. If you like a platformer with a very fun moveset, and you kind of want a bit of a preview of the kind of philosophy going behind Bubsy 4D, this is more open world. It's basically like Wind Waker meets a good Sonic 3D game meets I don't know, like a little bit about what was that mode? Bowser's Fury. So check out Demon Tide. Support my friends at Fabraz. Keep it up to those guys. The game kicks ass. It's really good.
Yeah, this looks cool. Wow. Wow, shout out.
Yeah.
All right. Micah, what about you? Anything?
I really didn't have one this week. I'm not too pleased with anyone. Except, I guess I'm happy that Brigandine Abyss is going to be coming out. I'm thrilled that they said, you know what, let's revisit this old IP that a handful of people like. I can always respect that because now you've got a new fan in me who's going to buy this new game and all that. But otherwise, I'm not too happy with most people this week.
Wow.
Okay. That's fair. For me, there's been some controversy around this, but I don't care. Finally, we are getting a Pokemon game digitally on the Switch. The older ones especially. We haven't gotten those since the 3DS era, but they're finally doing it. We're getting Fire Red and Leaf Green. I haven't played these as well. They are remakes of Red and Blue essentially. So I'm going to be playing. They're $20 each, which I think is fine, but for a lot of people that's apparently too much. So
they've been screaming about it.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, but $20 for probably a pretty good game. Hell yeah. I'm in. They're finally putting those old games on there. It's not, I could actually buy it in quotes, if you will. So I'm very happy about that. I've been complaining about Nintendo not letting me buy a lot of these older games, having to use NSO only, but I finally can. So please do more of that. That's good shit. Keep it up. All right. Let's see. We got DMAC here. Keep it up. Brad's YouTube channel. A little self-promotion right here. I loved your video with Huber, where you guys ranked all the Resident Evil games. It was great to see you guys chat about games again. Would love to see you two on another video together to talk about Requiem once you finished it. Would be cool if he was on Summon Sign, though I realize maybe that's still tough, or at least on your own channel again. So just for context, people don't know. Mike Huber, we've been friends since we were in first grade, and we worked at Game Trailers together. We co-founded Easy Allies together, and he is still there. But I finally got him on a video with me after how long have I been here? Is this year 3? I think, Mike, I've been here. I think it's year 3 now.
Yeah, must have been.
So it's been that long, but me and him sat down finally on my YouTube channel, and we ranked all of the Resident Evil games. It's over an hour long. So if you want to check that out, please do. It's really fun. It's up there on YouTube if you want to find it. Let's see here. Jay Reed wrote in and said, "Greetings, summoners. Weird timing, but I have a rare keep it up for Xbox. Long story short, I upgraded to HDMI 2.1 TV and had to get a new Xbox after a botched repair. Even though I canceled Game Pass /online last year after the price hike, I was still able to download all my cloud saves, so I didn't lose anything. Hey, that's pretty good. That's very convenient. That is the only reason I have PS Plus. The basic thing still is for cloud saves. God, I wish you didn't have to pay for it.
Xbox ecosystem kicks ass. I enjoy. I play at home. At least typically when I'm playing games, I have a game on the go that I'm playing on Switch, and then I got a game that I play at home, which is on Xbox or PS5. I'm not much of a PC gamer, although but every so often and Series X, every single time, I'm playing a game on Series X. I mean, their Game Pass offerings have been great. Their ecosystem's awesome. The cloud stuff is seamless. When I played, every so often, if I am traveling and I want to keep playing a game that's on Xbox, when I first played Lies of P, I bounced about back and forth between playing at home on my Series X and playing on PC, and it was perfect. Zero problems whatsoever. So yeah, shout out to Xbox. They got a great ecosystem. Yeah.
The only thing is, I know because Mike has problems because she used to play on the streaming app.
Oh, the remote play.
And they changed it completely and fucked it up.
Yeah, they botched that. But otherwise, it's great. Yeah. Playing on Xbox. No, playing on Xbox compared to PlayStation is still my preference. But they completely botched the remote play. And what happened as well is that they shut down some random guy had made this app called XB Play that was still a really great dedicated remote play app, and it worked perfectly. And they shut him down. My $5 I paid for that app's gone forever. And now the experience is just terrible when I try to use my Logitech G Cloud. So when I want to play the Xbox on the TV, it's still like preferred to the PlayStation interface. But yeah, the remote play sucks now.
Yep.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Alas. All right, let's get a game recommendation from the audience. This is for the audience, for you listeners, not us. We got enough shit to play. This way up V wrote and said, "Afternoon, lads and lass from rainy Suffolk, UK." Or Suffolk? Yeah. With the recent news from the past couple of days, I'd like to drop a recommendation for a fun little pick and play game, being Bomber Crew and Space Crew. They mainly consist of running your crew of lads trying to maintain and upgrade your plane or ship by completing your missions. Whether it's a World War II bomber crew running supply drops, chasing doodle bugs, or just classic bombing, or space crew with patrolling planets, rescue missions on space stations, and running through asteroid fields to the next jump point before your ship pops. I'm probably not doing them justice here, but I recommend trying one or both, especially if you liked FTL or having a simple run that devolves into clouds of flak, an ace pilot breathing down your neck, then the tail falls off your plane with a couple of fellas flying out like the back, like you're this is a weird thing. Couple of fellas flying out the back like confetti because you didn't upgrade your armor. Both can be picked up for roughly $5 on sale for the complete edition, so I recommend them for little fun games to spend an hour or so now and then. Cheers and thanks for the great content. All right, so these two games, if you like stuff like FTL, I'm guessing like strategy, managing your ship, all that kind of stuff, you got two options, Bomber Crew and Space Crew. Jason, are you looking at them right now?
I am. I'm looking at them.
How do they look?
This is not my type of game. It's like, I hate the term friend slot, but it's basically what this kind of is before that became a term. So respect there. When I see games like this, same with FTL, like where you're managing one thing, it makes me think of Rocket Slime, that Rocket Slime game.
Oh, yeah.
Those like mech moments where you're running around, managing all that stuff. So it's fun. I'm sure it's fun. But I don't play enough of these types of games
Rocket
to
Slime,
say
dude.
one way or the other.
What a pull.
Rocket Slime. God, love a good slime.
There's so many Dragon Quest spin-offs. It's crazy.
I know. I love that one because I love the slimes. The slimes are just so cute.
Slimes are great, man. Slimes are great. I got my little slime back there. I've been looking for a metal king slime plushie for a while. Oh, I need to keep an eye out for that.
Cool. You know, I when I went to what was it? I was at the Portland Retro Games Expo last year, and I was walking around looking, and it's mostly just people buying and selling games. And I every so often walk by one of those metal slime 3DSs.
Oh, holy crap!
That thing! I got to hold one. I was like, "Ooh, can I touch it?" And then I held it. I'm like, "This is bad. I want to buy this thing," but it was like $500.
Yeah,
like, no,
it is sick though.
It's so cool. I want it. I will never play it, and you can have it back, sir. It's like better judgment. But oh man, is it pretty? It's so pretty.
It is pretty. Yeah. Shout out.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, new little segment I'm trying out for the show here called, just for temporary, I don't know if this will be the permanent name, Looking for Group. Basically, listeners, if you remember back in the day from Podcast Beyond, they had like the PSN Hit of the Week, where someone gives their online handle and what they're looking to play games with other people. Basically, if you're looking for people to play games with, this is a good way to reach out and find like-minded individuals. So I have a couple here. How many do I have here? I have 3 for now. I don't think I'll be doing 3 every episode, maybe 1 or 2. But since it's the first one, we'll go a little extra in. This is from the Assassin AK. Hello, Summoners. Perfect timing on the new segment, Brad, because I need people to play Marathon with on PlayStation. My PSN name is the Assassin-AK. I missed the Destiny train completely, so I want to go all in on the new Bungie game. The latest trailers has me really interested. I'm not a huge multiplayer guy, but I did put hundreds of hours into Rainbow Six Siege. That's the only multiplayer game that really stuck with me, so I'm hoping Marathon will do the same. Marathon will also be crossplay on every platform, so it could be anyone on any platform, not just PSN, but that is his PSN name, so hit up the Assassin AK if you want to play Marathon with somebody. Banksy wrote in and said, "Hey Brad, long time listener here. and I'm absolutely buzzing for the return of this segment. I'm Banksy198560 from the UK, and I set myself a high-stakes challenge for 2026. I'm purging my backlog by hitting 1 platinum trophy every single month. Damn, that's pretty intense. I'm currently staring down my March objective, Helldivers 2, and I'm feeling the pressure. I've got a wedding and a marathon training schedule looming later this year, so I need to secure these plats before my real-life schedule turns into a relentless boss fight. My problem is my friends list is a bit of a ghost town, and trying to get the goon, the gone in 360 seconds trophy with randoms is a special kind of hell. I'm tired of joining blitz missions only to find teammates who want to stop and smell the samples or pick fights with every single automaton on the map while the clock is ticking. I'm looking for a squad of disciplined LFSM listeners to head back into the mud of the Malavian Creek with me. Malavian. I need a team that knows their way around a stratagem and can help me turn my tragic completion percentage into something respectable. If you want to help a Brit secure a clean extraction before he has to start running for real, the marathon, not from the Terminids, please add me. PSN is Banksy, BANKSY, 198560. So if you're a Helldivers fan, you want to help out Banksy here, hit him up. And this
Can I
is
just
from...
say,
yes.
I like how that was written like the old personal ads people used to put out. Like,
yes.
I'm looking for, and it was like very specific. He wants someone hardworking, determined, disciplined. It's like, damn, it's like he's like putting out a want ad for a new partner. I'm impressed with how much you put into that. Man.
No Pisces. Like
he's not he's not looking for anyone to waste his time. He's a man who knows what he wants.
Exactly. He knows his worth, and he's looking for someone who knows their worth too.
Yes. All right. This is from NL023C. I don't know. Just a bunch of random shit. Hey, Brad and Micah, and welcome to Guest Jason. The new segment sounds awesome for linking up with other LSM fans to play some games together. My PSN is NL lowercase o, the infinite one, number 1, not written out OEN. And I'm hoping to do some co-op in Neo 3 and other Souls-likes. Thanks, and keep up the amazing content. Once more, his name is the letter N, L, lowercase o, the infinite 1, the number 1. So there you go. If you want to play Neo or some other Souls-likes with him, hit him up. All right, Jason, we're back to games here. We're going to talk about Cairn. I heard a lot of great things about this game. I know you climb in a mountain in it, and that's all I know.
That is the game. That's it. Let's go to the next game.
All right, cool.
That's it. We did it. Cairn. A little bit of history here. Cairn is, as far as I know, and they've maybe done more, but this is the third Game Bakers game that I believe. Maybe they did another one, but Fury was my introduction to Game Bakers.
Oh, it's them. Okay.
FURI. Boss Rush. Awesome game. You get a little bit of third-person hack and slash gameplay, some bullet hell, a little bit of Carpenter Brute music. It's awesome. Really great. If that sounds interesting, the game's great. So from there, I knew like this team's got something special. Then they released a game called Haven, which is very different from Fury. Haven is about a couple that is not supposed to be together, so they escape to this planet, I guess alien planet, and you fly around. It's very chill. There's a pretty basic turn-based combat system in there, but it's just very whimsical. It's a great story. The writing is great. It's awesome, and it's very different than what Fury was. And now they announced their new game, and it's Cairn, which is very different from the other two. And I respect it, similar to a team like Supergiant, where up until Hades 2, every game was something different. I really love teams that do this and go for it and try to branch out a bit. Cairn, pretty like you said, you climb a mountain. That's the whole goal of the game. You actually see it the moment you get out of the climbing gym tutorial from the beginning. The way you control is basically with the basic controls, you move one limb around at a time and you grip, and then you're moving the other limb around to grip. And by manipulating all those different limbs, you are basically hoisting yourself up this rock face. And in between that, there's some walking, and you might even meet some people along the way to have there's a whole story. You'll get calls from people through your climb bot. It's a little sci-fi in a way based on the robot that's roving around next to you. But yeah, the premise is as straightforward as it gets. You go up to this mountain, Cami, which no one's ever reached the top of, and your character, Ava, is trying to get up it. And she's this legendary climber. So you're getting calls from your agent, your girlfriend, and you run into this guy named Marco every so often on the mountain. And this game is awesome. Like I absolutely love this game, and I don't see a scenario where this game is not on the top of my list, at least in the top 10, maybe even top 5 at the end of the year, because it's that memorable. The gameplay itself is nerve-wracking. I've never... I can't think of any other game I've ever played where my palms were as sweaty. Like my hands don't usually sweat when playing games, but basically I keep saying basically, I don't know why. You have, but I acknowledge it. People are like, why is it? When you're climbing up, you have these pitons that you can drill into the wall. And if you fall, those will catch you. But you have a limited amount of them. You can find more to expand them. Sometimes they break, so you have less. But if you fall and you don't have pitons in, then you die if you fall from a high enough point. And it's all one continuous mountain. You're not like level based. There are points that are distinct. So when you get to the point, what is that thing called? It's the perils. Anybody who's played through this game knows the perils, and they know it sucks. And it's the most intimidating thing because it's just a straight wall that goes up, and it seems impossible because you don't think you have enough pitons to have enough checkpoints. So you just kind of have to nail it. That's the first time in the game. Actually, it's the only time in the game I got about halfway. And after struggling for a while, I thought, you know what? I have to rethink this. Go back to an earlier checkpoint, which you can do, to rethink the approach, because it's also checkpoint based. You can't save whenever you want. You can only save at specific points, and they're spread out very well. The game is super fair and well balanced, so it's never frustrating. And and oftentimes you'll get to a point where you haven't saved in a while, and it'll tell you, hey, just so you know, you haven't saved in like 25 minutes. And then at that point, you're like, holy shit, I haven't saved in 25 minutes. God damn it, I don't have any pitons. I'm going to die. I'm going to die up here on this mountain. And that happens a lot. Now, sometimes there are walls. There is one point where I went into this cave and I encountered this wall, and you can't use pitons. Now, no fall from that was like deathly. Like, it wouldn't kill you if you fell from any height on this thing, but it was enough where you're thinking, and you said, man, if I'm going up and I'm really trying to take my time and I get up in 10 minutes and then boom, I fall, you're like, shit, I almost had it. And that was the moment where I realized, like, holy crap, my hands really are sweating while playing this game. And then if that's not enough, you also have to manage there's a health bar that you have. So if you fall and smack your face into a rock, then you're going to lose some health. If you sprint, then you start losing a little bit of that. There's like stamina to it. But then you also have to manage your hunger, your thirst, and your cold levels. As you get higher and it gets colder, then you can use things that you either find, like you'll find things like protein bars and water bottles and other random things. And you can cook while you're at your camping sites. And it's not complicated. Like, everything in the game is so straightforward and simple that I'm not a big survival guy. So when playing survival games and you're overwhelming me with inventory options and those kind of things, it was like, too much, I'm out. But this presents everything really well. Cooking is literally pick one ingredient, pick a second ingredient. Here's your thing. So I want soup. Well, here's your, you have, I guess soup's not really a good example of what I'm talking about here. If you want coffee, you found instant coffee. You have some water, combine those two, bam, you have hot coffee now. And that'll stay warm for a specific amount of time. So if you drink that'll keep you warmer for a certain amount of time. That'll also quench your thirst. And then other things will quench your hunger if you eat a protein bar, for example. There's also various stat boosts that can increase your speed, that can increase your grip strength. You also have chalk to manage. So if you use that, that'll also make things easier. So there's a whole bunch of tools at your disposal to make going up this mountain easier. And I never felt like I was out of my depth until I hit the perils and I'm like, oh my God, but I know I could do it. And it's one of these things where you go up and you think it's really difficult. It's kind of like if you ever hike and you're walking and it feels like you're just walking up a hill and you're like, I feel like I haven't gone anywhere. And then you look down and you're like, holy shit, I'm really high up. You get that feeling constantly when you're playing this game because you don't really have that sense of height or scale when you're climbing the wall. The camera is very zoomed in on you. So you have a perfect view and sense of what is grabbable, what you're grabbing, and having confidence. Now, some people have some issues and your body will sometimes contort in very weird ways as you're like trying to move your right leg over your left leg. And then it's just kind of like spasming out, freaking out. But it's never really to the goofy point of something like a QWOP. Like it plays it very straight. The story plays it straight. The character plays it straight. The character's like super serious, dedicated. Like the story it tells is very good. And it's really has themes of like dedication and obsession amongst all other things. And it really does a great job of communicating it as you're this lady just who really just wants one thing only. And that's to get to the top of this mountain. Everything else be damned. And they do a really good job at it. The other component of this, which I really enjoy, is your inventory. You have a bag, and every piece, everything that you have takes up a spot in your bag, but it's all physics generated on like a 2D plane. So you can mix and match things. So if you don't have enough room for something, then you can move things around and kind of mess around with it to make enough space just to pick up that one thing and squish it in there.
Is it like RE4's kind of case that you can move stuff around in?
No, because that's more puzzle pieces, right? Like that takes place on a grid.
A grid? Okay.
No, it's not a grid. That's the thing. It's not a grid. It all takes place in this space and it kind of just flops around.
Okay, that's funny.
When you pick something out, you move it around. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I kind of enjoy that stuff. There's a satisfaction when you go buy a candy bar. You're like, man, I really want this candy bar, but I can't fit it in. It's like, okay, well, what can I do? How can I like mash things over? If I move things over here and make enough space, I'm going to pick up this candy bar and then I fit it in. I'm like, yeah, I nailed it. Just so I can have this candy bar later. It's awesome. Really enjoyed that. At one point you come across a frog and you can lick the frog and then you have like kind of a psychedelic experience. Whoa. And then it shows all the kind of, but it heightens all of the grip points that you can use. So there's actually a benefit to getting high in the game, which is pretty fun. But this game's awesome. The tension is unlike anything I've experienced in a game. It's super unique. I just had a great time. Like I could not wait to get back and play it. There is a free solo mode that I know Alex Honnold is big. You just climb the the Taipei building, and you can free solo this game. Like that is one of the options that you can do. You can free solo it without some pitons. That gives me anxiety that I am not willing to take on at this point or probably ever. Maybe if it comes to Switch 2 and I want to play it on the go, well then yeah, I probably will. Then maybe I'll give it a shot. But at the moment, I got my experience. I got to the top. I'm like, okay, I did it. But you can do that. There's also, I think when you do that, you also have a smaller bag, so you can carry even less stuff with you. But it's really cool. I also enjoyed going to the Reddit and seeing a bunch of people post their videos and their falls and whatnot. Man, when you fall, you feel it. You're like, oh my God, it is devastating. But the satisfaction of climbing up is so good. It's so good. So highly recommend this one. Cairn is a special game. I'm super happy for game bakers and the success. I hope this isn't successful enough to lead them to make a Cairn 2, like Supergiant made Hades 2. Cairn seems to be their biggest breakout. So hopefully they keep making new things. Keep making new things, game bakers. I'll be there at least. And I assume there's dozens of me out there. And I think this is, and I also want to call out another game if you like this kind of thing, because Jusant is a game that came out about 2 years ago. And if you like games like this, I also recommend that one. And Cairn is definitely the better game, I think. But Jusant does things differently. If you want more of a gentle mountain climbing experience, then I recommend Jusant. I also think the thing that Jusant did that I was feeling absent in Cairn was its sense of verticality at all times. Like there were so many moments in Jusant, but it was more arcadey and less simmy, I guess. So you had these moments where you could like be dangling by a thread and it could pan out the camera and create these more. Are you afraid of heights, Micah?
I am have a debilitating fear of heights, and I just
don't play Jusant. Don't play Jusant.
I just Googled it. Just a screenshot made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. So Jusant will give you that feeling. Cairn will not until you fall. And I think, but having that constant experience is pretty cool. So both excellent games, but yeah, Cairn, I highly recommend this. It's something special. The one downside I'll say of the game is that I played it on PS5 base, and it runs a little assy. Like the frame rate's not great at the baseline, but what I looked up online was that if you drop the console settings to 1080p, then it'll run a little bit more stable. And it does. But the game is also slow enough. It doesn't rely on super fast paced, and it's meant to be played more methodically. So that's far from a deal breaker. And one of my coworkers actually played through it on Steam Deck, and it was great to be playing along with somebody. And we were like talking. I said, "Oh man, have you hit the perils yet?" He's like, "No, not yet." And then 2 days later, he's like, "Oh my god, the perils!"
Yeah,
it was great.
That's
so
great, yeah.
Highly recommend this one. They're also patching it actively. But yeah, check out Cairn. This is a special one.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of great things about it.
Mm-hmm.
Brad McDermott wrote and said, "Hey everyone, awesome to see some love for Cairn. Thank you, Jason. I just wrapped up my platinum and had an awesome time with the game. I feel like the gameplay is uniquely challenging and rewarding and strikes a good balance between realistic and arcadey climbing mechanics. I also loved the direction of the story and how it explores the mind of an obsessed climber risking it all. Summiting Kami is an enormous and daunting task, and I really like how the game presents each section of the climb as an individual rock faces to be conquered one by one. I love the feeling of finally overcoming a difficult section only to be met with an even larger and more dangerous wall in my path. Although it's early, it's the best game I've played this year, and I'm looking forward to whatever the game bakers do next. Have you enjoyed the game as much as me? Thanks, and as always, for the awesome content."
Yeah. I mean, Brad gets it. And I think the one thing I didn't mention, and I hope it's not spoilery, but there is a choice that you can make at one point of the game. And a lot of games, I've don't know if I mentioned on this one, or maybe I mentioned it during the, I think it was when I was talking about, what was it? Ghost of Yotei. I don't like it. They don't do it in that game, fortunately. But like something at the end of Expedition 33, the choice that they give you at the end of that, I thought was like kind of a cop-out. Like, what do you think happens? It's like, I don't know, man. You told me this whole story in this game for like 40 hours. Why don't you tell me? And this game does give you a choice, but it's so honest and consistent with the character they have that it was the one time. It's like, I chose the choice that was obviously true to the character. Then I picked the other one. I just looked back online and see what the other choice does. And I was like, yeah, this is great. Like, it's great. This is the one time a game that's given you zero choice in the game has given me a choice, and both are true to the character. Mm-hmm. It's like you could almost look at them as, this is one universe, this is another universe. They both feel so true and real, and love it. I again, other than the performance, I really don't have anything bad to say about this game. It's fantastic.
All right. Very nice. Micah, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. You're still making your way through. Talk to me.
Yes. So this game is just so charming. Mm-hmm. I am someone who was really not sold on the art style from the initial trailers. I was like, it just looks weird. Am I gonna think the whole time that they look weird? And honestly, after playing it and spending a lot of time in the world, it really grew on me. Kiefer's the only one who looks weird. Like, just the more I play and the more characters you meet, it's like everyone else looks pretty normal. I don't know why they did this to Kiefer. I don't know what they did, but he's really the only one that stands out as like his face is weird. So if you're like me and you said, I think the art style is kind of strange, I don't know if I can look at this for 40 hours. I promise he's really the only weird one, and you'll be looking at the back of his head most of the time anyways, you know? The story so far is excellent. It's funny. It's sweet. It even made me a little sad at some parts. Like, I wasn't expecting that. I really wasn't expecting to be so attached to these characters, but they really hook you in, and I'm just having so much fun with each battle and kind of like getting to know them a little bit more. I will say the game is quite slow to get started, not terribly slow. We're not talking about play 6 hours and it's going to be good, but the first like hour and a half, 2 hours is like, okay, let me play. And it's really more so that it's just kind of dull at the beginning. You have no skills, you don't have real weapons, so you do very little damage. And because you have no skills, all you can keep doing is hit attack each turn, you know. Once it opens up and like, hey, I have a real sword and hey, I can throw a fireball every now and then it's really fun. And again, it doesn't take super long to get there, but I will say the initial intro to the game kind of does feel like two kids going out and playing at sword fighting versus actually doing like serious battles. But it is, once it gets going and once it gets rolling, incredible. Your classic turn-based combat, you got, you know, twisty-turny dungeons with lots of treasure chests and goodies to find, and you are totally rewarded for exploring every corner of the map. There's always a sparkly thing. If you keep walking a little further, you'll find something that made it worth you coming all the way out here. I love that in games. Everyone in the party has a default job, and you will unlock more battle skills as you progress your job level. I will say, I think the game takes way too long to let you change jobs. That's just a matter of, this is quite linear for a JRPG, and you simply don't have access to change your jobs for a while. I maxed out my job level. It felt like pretty early, and for a while I was like, damn, am I ever going to get to change jobs? Like, I've maxed out everything like for a minute now. And when you finally do have the option, it's like, oh, thank God, because I feel like it was just kind of a waste, all these other battles I was doing. So I was no longer unlocking new skills and stuff. But the game still stays very fresh, you know, for a lot of other reasons. Like the dungeons are varied in length. Some of them are very short, and it's satisfying to do like multiple short dungeons in a 1 day's playthrough type deal. And then other dungeons are longer and more traditional. And that kind of kept me on my toes of like, wow, this is one that I'm going to do in multiple sessions. This isn't a dungeon I can just knock out in a quick play here. I'm going to come back after dinner and finish this one up. And I enjoy the variety there. They've all been well designed and fun to explore. A few puzzles in the dungeons so far, but not many. Mostly just bashing up monsters, looking for treasure, and that's really what I'm after. And again, the game is a lot more linear than I expected. It kind of makes sense because, like, no spoilers, but the game, it has you searching for these objects, and those objects are what, you know, unlock the dungeons. And so it's like, well, you got to keep finding them. And you find them in the dungeons. And so there's kind of just an order in which it has to go. So just on the surface, it's more linear than I expected it to be, but I'm liking that. I mean, I'm not drowning in side quests. I'm not drowning in fetch quests. Like playing Harvestella recently, oh my God, I liked that game a lot, but there was so much side stuff. I felt like it was a full-time job. I was stressed. I would boot up that game and feel stressed about what do I do today? Because I got this guy yapping at me for what he wants. I got 10 people in town who need stuff and the main quest. This has been so refreshing to just have it be quite linear and just going around doing my dungeons, not having 100 side quests in every new town. It really has been like, oh, like this is a JRPG that isn't stressing me out because I love them. I love them, but God, some of them are just feel like a job.
Yeah.
So one other thing I really like is that when you're on, you know, the overworld map, you can see the enemies, same as in the dungeons, but you can bash an enemy, you know, to kind of either do damage to them before the battle starts, or if they're low level, it just completely skips the battle. You get the XP just for bashing them. Love that. Streamlined grinding, you know, low level monsters and not having to do this every time the cutscene into the battle, the leaving. Let me just smack this guy, and if he's a low enough level, he dies. Love it. The only thing I'll say in that regard, they don't let you do that with the boat when you're sailing around the overworld map. And those, I don't know why, but like so far, those have all been really low level enemies. And so like the boat battles, no matter where I've gone so far, have all been really easy. And that's something that I say, I wish I could just breeze past those as well. Just hit them with an ore or something. I don't know. But it's fantastic. I'm having a great time. Brigandine stole my attention for the weekend, though, and I got to get back to Dragon Quest because I really am just loving where the story's going, and I can't wait to see what's next. But it's fantastic. If you were on the fence about this game, and if you're someone who sometimes feels like, JRPGs can be like overwhelming because of the amount of content, this is one I'd recommend because so far I haven't had like so much shit to do that I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know what direction to go in next. There's a direction constantly.
Yeah.
And it's just very refreshing.
Yeah. It's pretty straightforward where to go most of the time in the game. I think there's maybe like one or two occasions I didn't really know exactly where to go. But
I had to consult a guide once, and really it was my fault. I just misunderstood what I was supposed to do next. And it was kind of early in the gameplay loop, because without spoiling things, what I'll say is that there is just a defined loop of like what you should do. And once you know that, it's quite simple. But at first I was like, well, where to next? And it just said like, keep finding pieces. And I'm like, well, where?
Yeah.
Where haven't I gone? And that was just a matter of thinking like, oh, okay. And after consulting that guide, now I get it. And I know the loop, and I can do that every time without help.
Yeah. Who's the most recent party member you got?
Oh, I got Ruff.
Okay.
And I love him.
Yeah,
I would
he's the
die
best.
for him.
Yeah,
oh my God, he's so cute. I just love him to pieces. As at first, I'm not gonna lie to you. At first when I saw him on the box art and everything, I was like, oh, like wild man boy, like, wild thornberries, ask Donnie. I was like, I don't know about this. And then he turns out to be the cutest little character, and I fucking love him.
Does he ride the wolf?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, he's so cute. The only thing I don't like, though, is like all his special attacks, he howls like a wolf. It's a little annoying. Like, when you're in a longer battle and he's like keeps howling, my dogs are looking around and I'm like turning the sound down. Like, don't bark, don't bark. It's not a real dog.
That's funny. CKT wrote and said, hello, slimy summoners. This is my first time playing Dragon Quest VII, and I'm really enjoying it. The very different accents for each island are hilarious to me. It does feel strangely streamlined for a JRPG, though, with almost no fetch quests thus far. Hopefully, didn't jinx myself. Who are your favorite party members? So far for me, Ruff is awesome, and Kiefer looks like Matt Damon's puppet, which cracks me up, yeah. Ruff is the best, yeah. He's the best party member.
He's so cute. He's adorable. And the accents are funny. I mentioned to you off air, Brad, there's like one of the places you go to and they kept saying buongiorno, which is something that I often say just so it's like, I think it's a fun word.
Unironically say, yeah.
I just like to greet people with a buongiorno every now and then. The only one, though, that annoyed me is the people who were supposed to be French. And I was just breezing through that dialogue because it was pissing me off. There's too many vowels and shit. It was tiring to read. It made me feel dyslexic trying to read it. And I was just like, it's like you got the place that's supposed to be like German, and then you got this place that's supposed to be like Spanish. And then the French one came up and there were just so many letters. And I was like, fuck it. I don't care what you have to say. Just get over it. I find French. This is not a diss of French people. I find French to be a very difficult language to listen to. It's like they got like a sock in their mouth and they're trying to talk through it. And it just tires me. It's like it's difficult. It's like it is strained and difficult for them to say the words. And it makes me feel very uncomfortable.
That's funny.
So the French town, I'm sorry, I just had to like breeze through all their dialogue. I wasn't having it.
Locke will find that amusing as someone who can't speak French. That's very funny. All right, final game here, Jason. Dynasty Warriors Origins.
Yeah, Dynasty Warriors Origins. Are either of you into Musos at all? I assume no, because I've been listening to you guys talk about on games on podcasts for years and never heard anybody talk about a Muso. No. I think, Brad, you played a little bit on Zelda, right?
It pisses me off, Jason, because they do every IP I like.
Yeah.
But I just don't like Musos.
Right. Yeah. Musos, here's my history with Musos. This is a genre that I have tolerance for maybe once every 2 years or so. The first Muso game I actually played and got into was Dynasty Warriors Next on the Vita launch title. Yeah, I was there for Vita from day one. Right, big Vita fan. That was my start. Then I played Zelda. I played Hyrule Warriors. Like the first 3. When they re-released the one for
on Switch.
Yeah, that's the one I played. Solid, pretty good. And then I played, so when just take a little bit of a morbid turn. When my stepdad passed away, I was playing Skyrim on Switch. And I was like, I don't want to associate this game with that. I was like, let me play something mindless and stupid. So I bought that Fate Extella game. I know nothing about Fate. It was crazy. Like everything about that is crazy. With some lady being like, I'm Nero, which is a crazy Roman ruler.
Emperor, yeah.
Yeah, but in this game is just this anime waifu. I'm like, all right, sure. You say Excellent. You're Nero, I'll buy it. You're Nero, now let me mow down 1,000 enemies. So I've dabbled in others. I tried New Hope's Fire Emblem New Hope, and that was I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. But something about Origins, it seemed like a reset for the series, like new engine, new mechanics, that kind of thing. And when I saw it last year, I was intrigued. And then they released it on Switch too, and I was like, hey, these games should be played portable. Because you want to talk about a good podcast game. How about this, where I could just go turn off my brain and basically every level is committing genocide again, like killing a genocide's worth of people. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. But yeah, if you're not familiar with Muso genre, it's one guy and you are taking out tons of enemies at once. You even have a specific attack that you charge up called a Muso attack, where you just make a big swing and just see a wave of enemies go flying along the way. There's a very, very, very light strategy element to it because most of the main path levels have you taking over bases. So if you're not conscious of what's going on, then other bases will be taken over. Sometimes there's key characters that have to stay alive during any mission, and you want to make sure that if they're in trouble, you got to go get them. Heal them, which is just as easy as riding right by them on your horse, and then they're magically healed. But to give you an extent of how light the strategy is, early on in the game, there's actually a point where they said, as for you, you are a nameless character. You choose the name, and you are the guardian of peace, which is hilarious considering the amount of people you murder over the course of the game. The guy basically says, you just do whatever you want. That seems to be working out pretty well. And that's kind of the direction that you have throughout the game. I have not completed it. I'm about 30 hours in on chapter 4. So I just completed chapter 3. And man, I love this game. Man. I was going to give a sorted out because this game is criminally underrated. The fact that it didn't get any mainstream action game of the year nominations is insane. This game is so much fun. Ninja Gaiden 4 got action game nominations. That game is fine. I played through it. It got pretty good at the end, but again, you talk about something that's same me and I'm playing Dynasty Warriors. This game is just the dopamine hit you get whenever you're playing this thing is so much fun. The progression that the way they lay out the game is so digestible. It goes down so easy. They just layer in the complexities so nicely. I think that's what turned me off about Three Hopes. It was too much. It was too much. Just get me in the action and let me mow down some enemies. That's what I want to be doing in a Muso game. So right. The fact that it's just kind of slow drips that content is perfect for me. Like you start off, you have a sword, great, you go in with the sword. Then a little bit later, hey, you got a spear now. Now you got a spear. You can use a spear, and that's a whole bunch of new attacks. You got your special attacks that you can use, and you keep unlocking new those. You assign those. That builds up your meter to get more, do more special attacks. You slowly, then a few hours later, hey, now you got a little army of your own that you could give orders to. They could launch fire attacks. They could charge enemies. They could do defensive tactics. The leveling up system. There's no experience. Instead, the experience all goes into the weapon you're using. And every time you hit a certain threshold of the weapon, then that's how it determines how much experience you get. Then you have your chart, which can boost your stats, maybe unlock some new special abilities. It's all really straightforward. All the weapons feel great. I have my preference of some versus others. I'm not a huge fan of the gauntlets, but it's pretty fun to get into this kind of squat move and then just rapidly just throw a bunch of punches as dudes. I just unlocked the last weapon, which is the Crescent Blade. That thing just wrecks everyone. Really cool. And then you can't underestimate the sword. It's just good old trusty. The funny thing about these games is that this has got to be like maybe the 25th Dynasty Warriors games. There are so many of these games. At one point, they were averaging 1.5 games a year because there was like Dynasty Warriors Extreme Edition and then Empires. And now we got another number entry. It's like, how do you keep doing this? And they all are the same. They all tell the same story. It's all the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. That's what it's based on.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Koei is obsessed with the story because they have a series called Romance of the Three Kingdom. Then they have Dynasty Warriors. Then they did Kessin. Then they did another one that I'm blanking on right now. But they keep telling the story over and over and over again. And as a neutral party, you start from the beginning. And it starts off with chapter 1. And this is hilarious. Listen to this chapter name. Chapter 1. The Yellow Turban's rebellion turns it to a reign of terror. Heroes rise in the midst of turmoil. That's a chapter name.
That's the chapter name? Wow.
That's the chapter name. Why did they just say chapter 1, the Yellow Turbans? Like they're going to tell me all this stuff. Come on, guys, take it easy. It is a who's who of historical Chinese figures. One of the best things you can do while playing this game is when someone's introduced, and they do it constantly. I'm even at 30 hours in, they're like, hi, I'm this person. You're like, oh my God, there's still more people. I don't remember anybody's name in this game. Donkey made a video about this. He's dead on with that, which is all of these names and these constant introductions. But the best thing you could do is search the name of the person that was like in history and look at the portrait and compare that to what they look like in this game, which is this pretty guy in this like flamboyant thing. And then you look up the drawing, the historical drawing is just some schlubby dude with a mustache. This is awesome. And then it's like, wait, he doesn't look like that hot guy that I'm playing as. What's going on here? So that's all fun. One of the things that this series is notorious for is Lu Bu. This guy just wrecks shop the moment, like there's this point in the game where you're trying to assassinate this guy and then that goes haywire. Then Lu Bu shows up. He has his own theme song. It's like, get the hell away from Lu Bu. When this man shows up, you know it's about to go down. That he's like as intimidating as he's supposed to be. The game's progression is great in terms of difficulty. Sometimes it like starts off, you're just coasting, cruising, destroying people. And then sometimes you keep you on your toes. Like, oh man, enemies launching a defensive attack. They're launching enemies from here. And you see all the arrows moving on the map, trying to tell you where you got to go. And you got to make some decisions. And you're like, oh man, who needs help? Who can I help out? Then you jump on your horse. And you're like wrecking dudes to build up your stamina meter so you can charging through enemies with your horse and just see them like just get knocked away like you're Moses parting a sea. It's awesome. Like everything in this game just feels great. And then beyond the just hordes of enemies that you have, you also are often just trying to target the generals of any squad. And that turns into a standard, lock on. I'm going to block. You have a dodge, you have a parry, all the usual tools, and they all feel great. Is it repetitive? Sure. But it's all really compelling and feels awesome. And the satisfaction just never gets old. And I think the tension that they build up along the way and the constant shift in characters and the way the story moves along, like who's becoming enemies, who's becoming allies. At chapter 3, you have to make a choice. You're going to join one of 3 squads. I went with Liu Bei. He's my man. We were bros at the beginning, and I feel like I gotta support those guys. Sorry, Cao Cao. I know that canonically you kind of are the guy, but not in this case. Really good stuff. I find it hilarious that as this character, the Guardian of Peace, you just keep unlocking more and more violent attacks as you learn about yourself. It's like you unlock this Peacebringer move later on. And like the ground just opens up and fire rises and you are killing like hundreds of people at a time. That's just the kind of game this is, though. If any of that sounds compelling in any way whatsoever, highly recommend this game. It runs really, really well on Switch 2. I don't think it's a lock 60. There's a performance mode and a quality mode. I'm on performance mode and I think it runs amazingly. Like, I'm sure, is it stable? Okay. Probably not, but I don't think it's ever really dropped below like probably the 40s. And for a game like this, I could forgive that. like with the amount of enemies on screen, it never really gets into that point. Sometimes you play those games that have this setting where if an enemy is far in the distance, they'll run at like half the frames. You know what I mean? You don't get that at all. No, you see an insane, if you're charging a base, you will see like 1,000 enemies lined up and they'll all be animated and they will just start charging and like these massive battles. It's just super fun. It's a good time. Don't sleep on Dynasty Warriors Origins. This game is awesome. If you're not playing on Switch 2, I'm sure it's on sale all the time and super cheap on other platforms, but it's good stuff, man. And if this is the baseline of the rumored of like future Musou games, I could get into that. I could get into this hamster wheel way more than every other year. Like if Xenoblade Warriors, that rumor is true, oh God, that will become my most anticipated game of all time. Especially if it's based on this engine. Man, oh man. So yeah, Dynasty Warriors Origins, good shit. Excellent podcast game as well, especially if you don't give a shit about the story. I do. It's really hard to not zone out when they're talking because of all the names, all the complexities. But it's a great history lesson, I suppose. And side note, while I'm playing this game, because this is a Japanese game describing Chinese historical events, and I'm playing it dubbed in English because there's no choice for Chinese language, which I would do. At one point I looked up, I said, how does China feel about these games? Like, are they cool? Are they cool with this? Turns out they love it. They're all about it. So guilt-free gaming right there.
Pure
Dynasty Warriors Origins. Love it. Looking forward to playing more of it. Yeah, it's awesome. It's so good.
Excellent. Yeah, you're right. They are obsessed with the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. I forgot they did Wolong as well, which has like Lu Bu in it and stuff.
Lu Bu, yeah.
Koei Tecmo cannot get enough of that.
Lu Bu is a menace.
Yeah, he is.
He's got sick music. The music in the game is great.
Well, and it's so, when I was playing like on NSO and I was playing through like trying to check out Nobunaga's Ambition and like the Romance of the Three Kingdoms 4, but it's like the repetition of the names was a problem because it's like, wait a minute, which Lu did I send here? And it's like, wait, which one was this? And it was just like, there's too many Lus. Like we gotta differentiate the names a little bit. Like it just one of those things of like, bro, like, I don't know. I know names are popular, but geez, it's not like I've never walked into a classroom and been like, there's 6 Tims in here. We had 3 Matts. All right. That happened, but we never had 6 Tims. It's like, oh my God, please come up with new names. Name your children differently.
One of my favorite things to ask now is, how would you spell Cao Cao?
Cao Cao?
Yeah. Go ahead, Brad. How would you spell Cao Cao?
Yes.
Micah probably knows because she's seen these.
I don't know.
Wait, what was it? What did you say?
Yes, like
no,
you.
Already wrong.
Already off, damn.
Yeah. Micah?
What is it?
Know?
Is it like with an X?
Was it TZ?
Nope.
Something? No.
CAO.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. You know what? So when I was playing the game and there's like no voice acting in this one, so I was just coming up with my own pronunciations for everything.
Oh man.
So it's
boy.
like, I don't know how these people were spelled. I don't know how you're supposed to say any of them.
Yeah, be careful when you say
like,
these people when you're talking about Dynasty Warriors.
the ancient people of the game and their names. There was no voice acting, and I was just freeballing it of like, I'm just gonna start calling this guy Cho-Cho. Like, I was like, I don't know what his name's supposed to be.
All right. Let's end the show with some write-ins from the audience. If you want to write into the show, I post a thread every Saturday on Patreon, our Patreon, so keep an eye out there. Let's see here. Simon Dixon wrote and said, hey guys, what are some of your favorite power fantasy games? Games that just let you feel like a god.
Dynasty Warriors.
Dynasty Warriors is a great pick.
Dynasty Warriors Origins. Are you kidding me? You kill like 2,000 guys in a matter of 30 seconds, and then it celebrates. It's like, you're so awesome. You just killed 2,000 guys.
Yeah, that's true. Power fantasy. The Hulk game on PS2.
Ultimate Destruction.
Yeah,
Hell
that
yeah.
game's pretty sick, dude.
Yeah, that's
any superhero game's good for that, I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Mike, any thoughts?
I'm gonna go with Borderlands. Just because once you start like leveling up and you get better and better guns, like you do, and you go back to it like an area with like lower level people, it's like, oh my god, you're just annihilating them. I love that.
That's fair. Weird choice, but hear me out. Katamari Damacy. Start real small, but you're rolling up like islands. I think in later games you're rolling up planets. You are a force of destruction in those games for sure.
Oh yeah, that's a great call. The last level of the original Katamari Damacy. That for sure, when you're like rolling up the earth.
Yeah, definitely.
Great call out.
All right, here we go. Pair of Shoes Run said, hello, Crisol, Theater of Ellis, Micah, the Legend of, however you say that, how did you say it, Micah?
Oh, he's just using my dog's name, so
yeah,
Treberzia.
Treberzia, I don't know. And Romeo is a Jason. There you go. Shoes always has crazy intros like that. You three get stranded in the desert, leaving you lost and sweaty. You come across your only sustenance for the last 4 days, a deceased Waddle Dee. What part of the Waddle Dee do you eat? You can't choose the same part. You have to split his corpse between you. Have a great week, and thank you for all the fun times. All right, so Waddle Dee is from Kirby, the Kirby series.
Is he wearing shoes, or are those feet?
I think those are feet.
Okay. I mean,
all right.
Kind of a uniform blob of a thing. So what are we
it's like
divvying up here?
I don't know. Is it like chicken breast, like the Waddle Dee breasts? Are they good?
Yeah, he's gonna the feet, like the legs are gonna be dark meat.
Yeah,
you know, the thigh region, that's gonna be dark meat. He's running around all day.
Waddle Dee meat. Yeah.
You think Waddle Dee has bones? Like, is there a bone structure to Waddle Dee?
I don't know, man. That's
I pictured him more like a jawbreaker, like he's got layers.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so we're gonna. What do you want to divide? I just
thought he was like very doughy
and
squishy, like Kirby or something.
But when you smack into one of them and it makes like that sound whenever like Kirby enemies, it makes it. I don't know. I thought he would be like very solid.
Yeah. Okay. That's
fair. He's a unit. Waddle Dee is a unit.
Yeah.
I don't think we should eat it though, unless we can ascertain how long it's been dead for.
We have to eat it. We have to.
I mean, it died of natural causes recently.
That's not good. You don't want to eat something that died of natural causes. That ain't good.
Attack.
We're on an island.
Right.
We're gonna die unless we eat this.
Yeah, we gotta eat the
We're gonna die if we probably suffer more for eating it and getting some weird waddle parasite. But okay,
I mean, Kirby's eating these things all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
He's sucking them down.
If he has ribs, if we cut into the Waddle Dee and it's got ribs, I will cook the ribs.
There's no way this thing has ribs.
If it does, though,
if it does,
I'd like to cook the ribs. You know, if he had ribs, that's what I'm going for. I can make a mean rack of ribs. I
think I'm going for the arms. His like little nubby arms. Yeah. I think that's something I can gnaw on and satiate. Also, if that front part of his face, like if that feels like that would have a different fleshy consistency compared to the rest of his head-like body that's behind it. At least it's tonally different.
I bet his like buttocks is probably pretty decent to eat. You know what I mean?
Waddle Dee butt.
Waddle Dee butt's probably not bad.
You can probably slow cook that, Micah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Can we just slow cook
like
the whole
Boston
thing?
Butt.
Can you like slow cook the whole thing and kind of like
roast him?
Yeah, and then you make like kind of a pulled Waddle Dee stew of sorts. And
really,
and we make sandwiches. Then we just divvy it all 3 ways.
Yeah.
Ideally, that's what you do, because when you like roast a whole hog, for example, it's like you're gonna have some parts that are a little dried out, like that are like less fatty, more lean, and so the ideal is to shred the meat and mix it together, so you're getting all the bites kind of optimized, really. So yeah, that's what we should do.
Boom, done.
Okay, we got it right there. We're gonna put a little seasoning on that guy too, right?
I want barbecue sauce. Do we have barbecue sauce on this island?
Yeah, I guess, like, why not? If we could find some.
Yeah, you know, if the scenario, I mean, if we were on an island, like we were going camping or something, I definitely brought barbecue sauce.
Oh,
so I think we're allowed to say that.
Like pink salt, Himalayan salt or something too.
Wow. Your Brad doesn't leave home without his Himalayan salt.
Gotta have that salt. Gotta have some spices, dude, as well.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Flavor it up.
Very specific.
All right. Nevitz wrote in and said, to those who have been summoned with the release of Final Fantasy VII Remake this year on Xbox and Switch, I have vowed to go on my FS7 pilgrimage. I am currently playing the OG Final Fantasy VII, then I'll jump into Remake, Crisis Core, and finally Rebirth to prepare for the final game in the series. Is there a gaming pilgrimage that you have been... Oh, wait. Is there a gaming pilgrimage that you've been on that was unforgettable, or do you plan to have one in the near future? Thanks, and remember, it's dangerous to go alone. All right, hold on. I'm going to stop you right there, Nevitz. You're not going to play Dirge of Cerberus? I know it's not great, but come on, man. If you're going all the way, you might as well. Also, don't play Crisis Core after Remake. Play Crisis Core after OG FF7. Go in the order these games were released. Do that, and you'll be much happier. Don't listen to Reddit. Don't listen to some dumb comment someone's typing up right now. Listen to me. I'm your boy. I got you. All right?
Wow.
Go in release order, so that includes Dirge of Cerberus. You got to play through it. Sorry.
How have they not remade that game like Crisis Core? You
give
figure
it,
that's a matter of time, right?
Give it time.
Okay.
I think they will. I think they'll do something with it.
Yeah.
Because that game definitely needs it. I'll say that.
No, I got a couple answers for this one, though.
Yeah. Gaming pilgrimage, Jason.
It's hard. Well, pilgrimage, would that imply that you're catching up on something that has existed, or can it be just games that I've kept up with on a...
I guess. I think, to me, it sounds like more just so playing through a bunch of games in one series.
Like, oh, okay, got it. I know the ones that I want to do. This is going to be comic. This is going to be like what, the fourth time I brought this up in some way, but Xenosaga. Because like I said, I didn't get to appreciate turn-based RPGs or JRPGs until Dragon Quest IX. So, and I didn't,
so you missed a ton of good
Xenoblade.
Ones.
Well, I've done a lot of catch up. Like I played through Final Fantasy VII. I played a lot of Final Fantasy games, actually.
Yeah.
So every so often I'll fill in the gaps and jump back and play those. But the Xenosaga series, especially as such a big fan of the Xenoblade Chronicle series, I need to go back. Like that needs a remaster. That needs something
a Xeno collection
to go back to. And I know the moment I start playing like Xenosaga Episode 1 in actual detail, like then I know for a fact they're going to announce it. I was like, damn it, I just all this time. So that's one that I looking forward in the future. As far as going through, I don't know. It's hard to say. Other than series that I've just kept up with. So pass on that part unless I think of something.
Mike, any pilgrimages you need to go through?
I mean, I kind of have been on one with the Zeldas, right? Ever since I really loved Echoes of Wisdom, and I've been slowly playing various Zeldas that I'd never played before. Like I played the Minish Cap and the Link's Awakening remake. I played the Ocarina of Time 3D. And so I have just been kind of slowly working through all those Zelda titles that I missed out on. That's like the first thing that comes to mind. Because like, when Yakuza 0 came out, I got super into it. But I did wait for the remakes. I was like, well, you're doing Kiwami 1 and then Kiwami 2. So it's like, I didn't jump in and say, I'm just going to go play all the old ones. I was like, well, you're remaking them, huh? So that was perfect. And I'm still chipping away at those. As they're doing them, I just got Kiwami 3 in the mail. So I'll be checking that out. And I also played them out of order because I played Yakuza 0, Kiwami 1 and 2, and then 6 came out, and I played it immediately. So I didn't want it spoiled. I needed to know what happened. So I just went ahead and played it. It was great.
But you've spoiled 4 other games.
Well, I mean, like, sure, but I wasn't 100% positive they were going to remake them all. So I said, well, wait, well, let's just play this one. And then I played Like a Dragon, and I got to play Infinite Wealth still, and the Pirate one. There's so much. There's so much.
Yeah.
I've played all of them. Like I've not played Kiwami 3 yet, but I will. I'm actually debating whether when I'm done with Origins, if I go to Kiwami 3 or if I play Dragon Quest, but we'll see. But I finished when I was over our break, I finished Pirate Yakuza, and it's awesome. It's so good. I really love it. That's the thing.
Like, I love Majima's my favorite, so I'm really amped to try that out. And then, there's the Man Who Erased His Name. Like, I have that. I bought it, but I haven't played it yet. There's a lot. And then they're working on, a different one that's like set in old Japan. I'm really excited for that. I have Ishin still to get to. I mean, they keep making them. It's
and then
great.
you got the other one. You got Thick Yakuza, which is that from that other guy.
Yeah, the original.
Excited
guy.
about that one.
Yeah, I forgot what that game was called. It never ends, dude.
There's too much to keep up with.
There's too many.
How can we manage?
Brad, what about you?
Many series that I need to go through. Trails is one of them I'd probably want to go through eventually, even though I don't love the first one. One that kind of I forgot about that I was reminded of recently was Dot Hack. I have the very first Dot Hack game, and I played when it came out, but I didn't really love it at the time. But there's so many Dot Hack games, I'm curious about it. There's like 3 different arcs or something like that, something crazy. And it's coming back again. So those are the 2 that come to my head right now. But I'm pretty much done with the Yakuza train. Well, I'm burnt the hell out on that series. I didn't finish the pirate game. I was like, all right, I'm good for now. But I played like half of it.
That's comfort gaming for me.
Whenever I sit down, I understand the love and appeal of it. It's just too many for me.
Community is mad about Kiwami 3.
I did hear
upset.
That. I heard a lot of people are not happy.
That's another one of those instances where I fancy myself as a fan of the Yakuza series. And I feel like if I went in, I wouldn't notice anything. I don't remember playing Yakuza 3. I remember nothing about it. I remember a lady hitting a car on a scooter and then flipping over a bunch of times because she was distracted by a pretty guy on a poster. And then that's an inspiration so you could unlock some move. I don't know. That's what I remember about Yakuza 3. That and being in Okinawa. Otherwise,
yeah.
I don't know who Mine was. Cool. Reset everything for me. I don't care. All this stuff that they're like, this sucks. I'm like, I'm still going to enjoy it.
Okay, this is from Kingston's Hotep arc of 2026. Hello. Let's imagine that the new head of Xbox really is a real one and buys Bluepoint and is open to requests for the revival of dormant IPs. What games would you want Xbox to remake, remaster, or even just give a new entry to? I just really want a new Jet Force Gemini remake and Banjo 3. Nuts and Bolts was a fun game, just not a good Banjo game. Thanks. All right, you're handed the keys to the Xbox remake factory. What are you remaking?
It's Viva Pinata.
Viva Pinata. There we go.
Well, I want a new one.
Or you can get a new entry in a series. Yeah, you want a new Viva Pinata.
But you could just make it exactly like the old one. I don't care.
Yeah.
But like, I would die if they announced a new Viva Pinata. I'd lose my shit.
Yeah. Fair.
I mean, he kind of nailed it with Jet Force Gemini.
Yeah, it's a great pick.
That is such a good, man. You think nostalgia. I can't think of a better example of nostalgia and then reality slapping you in the face the moment you try to play something that's like 30 years old than Jet Force Gemini. Not 30 years old. I guess it'd be like 26 years old at this point. But holy crap, you play that game, it is rough, really rough. But man, what you imagine it was is awesome. It's so cool. You had a dog with a machine gun on his back. Come on. Yeah. Give me all that, and then fix the collectathon stuff at the end. Oh yeah, that's the right answer. Not even a Banjo 3. Just remake the first Banjo and make it pretty. Blinks. Give that man another life. I'm just kidding. Forget Blinks.
I mean, let's be honest. Blinks is dead. Give it a life.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Give it a shot. Why not? Also, these games are short. Like, you're talking about purely remaking them beat for beat. You're not talking about very long things here. So it's a good way to kind of reset the deck. I mean, these are perfect as well for Game Pass, you would imagine.
Yeah.
It'd be a beautiful Jet Force Gemini.
I want Banjo. I've been yelling at Xbox for years to do it. And when they did, they made Nuts and Bolts, which is awful. So I'll never forgive them for that. And that was all we got. Yeah. It's like, you had toys for Bob. They could have done it. They could have done a great job. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Fucking idiots.
Also think about Rare, like Perfect Dark. Like, let's go back and update.
They try.
They try. No. But I'm saying like if you're taking what Bluepoint does, which is
just straight
up remake and make the best version of this thing look beautiful, play modern. Like, come on, give me the original Perfect Dark remade, beat for beat, and then polish some of those rough edges. Yeah, I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Cameo?
Cool. Cameo. Weird pick, yeah. Weird game. Weird game. Grabbed by the Ghoulies. Have them remake that.
Voodoo Vince.
Voodoo Vince.
I don't think that's actually owned by Xbox, though.
All right.
Big list.
Yeah. Jarrett J, the final writing here. What it do, fellow summon ones? With 2/3 of the punching up crew here, it would probably be better. Question for the pod, but here I am. I recently learned that Nintendo's cartridge-based games, Switch 1, 2, and 3DS, use flash memory, which will degrade over time if the cartridge isn't powered. As someone who values physical media, that hit me hard. It makes me wonder whether holding onto a big Nintendo library even makes sense if the data is slowly decaying no matter how well I store it. It also made me rethink Nintendo's keycard approach. Maybe we're getting it wrong. Is a physical card that simply unlocks a digital download actually more reliable long-term than cartridges with finite flash memory? I don't want to sound alarmist, but after testing my own collection, most games still work except my original Super Smash Bros. For 3DS, which now reads as corrupted. Now I'm debating whether I should just rip my physical collection, sell what I can, and move on. I don't need the money, and I know some of these games will appreciate in value, but shelves full of unplayable cartridges sounds like a nightmare. I love having a library I can pull from at any time, and this situation undermines that. I know Brad stopped collecting physical Switch games while Micah still collects Switch and 3DS. With this info in mind, what does the group think about the future of collecting Nintendo physical media? Micah, does this alarm you?
No, but it's my motivations for collecting are quite different. So it's like, I'm going to buy a game on 3DS that I didn't play before. Yes. I'm going to play it. I'm probably never going to play it again. I'm not much of a replayer. So I want the game on my shelf to remind me that it exists. Mm-hmm. I just like collecting games because I like looking at this shelf and saying, oh yeah, I remember when I played that. I remember when I played that. I like having just this visible catalog of games and to go down memory lane like that. But I'm not really much of a replayer. So does it suck to think that maybe I would want to boot that game up down the road and it doesn't work? Yeah, but I'm not collecting for that reason. I just like having these physical reminders of these games. It's why, like with Brigandine just now, it's like, yeah, I bought it for $8 and I just love it so much that I'm like, I want this on the shelf.
Yeah.
So I found a copy on sale and I got it, right? I'm probably not going to ever even boot up that cartridge because I have the digital one, but I just wanted it on the shelf to have.
Okay. Jason, any thoughts on all this? The flash memory, Nintendo
I was doing some rapid Googling to see if it can be repaired, to see if the flash memory stuff could be repaired. I think it's funny. My initial response was thinking this is alarmist, and then he straight up says it. I don't want to sound alarmist, mm-hmm. but I had this happen to me, and I'm like, oh, all right, fair enough. Then you're not going to want to hear what I was thinking first, which was, and I'll say it anyway. I think this is a risk for literally everything, right? Like PSP batteries explode. That's kind of just a known thing. You buy a PSP, no, chances are that battery will explode. Yeah. The battery in a lot of these games that use battery saving cartridge-based stuff, those also expire. There are ways to fix it, but I think everything has a risk of failure, and it's likely more of an exception to the rule than not. I'm someone who doesn't have the same issue with key cards that a lot of the collectors have. I think it's a pretty novel solution to an issue of if your options are physical key card or code in a box, which would you choose? And I would rather have the thing that has some sort of resale value down the line or something that could fit on a shelf. Would I prefer the game to be on a card? Absolutely. But I understand that is not feasible for, considering cost or whatever they're using, whatever it is. But if this seems kind of like a rare thing, I'm very 50-50. I'm not big on collecting. I actually have like a big stack of games that I'm trying to get rid of at this point. I got to figure it out. And I think sales for digital happen so often that if I don't need a game immediately, I'll probably just wait until the digital is on sale. But yeah, it sucks. I don't think that I don't think Nintendo had put any thought into the timeline or the expiration date when they decided on a keycard thing. I just thought, they just probably thought, here's another option for people who don't want to shell out X dollars to buy a cart. But as far as the physical collection, I mean, it really depends on what's important to you. You could be in this mindset of Micah, or you could be in the mindset of someone who is, no, I want these so that when I have kids, they could play all these games. But it seems like, but I also am less tied to like physically tangible things like that, especially knowing that there will always be a means to play the thing that exists, that existed in some form, especially now that everything's digital. Right. So that's kind of my take.
Yeah. Like they said, I'm out on collecting physical games now. It's over, dude. I've moved on.
I am using the Dynasty Warriors Origins key card. I've played most games that come out day and day. If I want it day and date or early on, I will look at all the sale options and I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll get the physical key card. Why not? So Dynasty Warriors, I played that. The Somnium Files, the Kaname Date one, that one I played that. That's a key card. So many key cards.
Yeah. Everyone's got different priorities.
Street Fighter, although I did just buy Street Fighter because it was on sale digitally, and now I'm looking to sell this key card.
Oh, wait, six. Yeah. Try out Street Fighter. Mm-hmm. All right, guys, we're done. Another episode in the books. Jason, Micah, thank you for joining me. Jason, what's going on, dude? If people want to follow you, whatever, see what you're up to, if anything you want to promote, let them know.
Yeah, I'm on Blue Sky at Jays of Doom. Basically just retweeting stuff that's going on at Atari. You can watch on YouTube or subscribe to the Atari Games podcast, where that goes up every other week, and I'm interviewing people around the company talking about games coming out, previews and stuff. Just did a couple for Digital Eclipse games that came out. Those were great. Always good to have Chris Kohler on. And then that's about it. Bunch of games coming out. Wishlist Bubsy. Yeah. If you're like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna like it, demos. I'm not gonna try to sell you on it. Play the demo, and you'll see. You'll see.
There you go. Okay, cool.
But yeah, thanks for having me on.
Of course, dude. Good to have you on, Micah. Any final thoughts or words before we go?
I just wanted to ask Jason, have you been to any Cracker Barrels recently for the pancakes? We've talked about our love of their pancakes, and you had tried it, on a business trip?
No, I tried.
Have you been able to go to a Cracker Barrel anytime soon?
No business trip has taken me to a proximity of a Cracker Barrel. I've gone the first time I went to Cracker Barrel. Yeah, it was right before. Because we were on a couple years ago, and that was at a hockey tournament in Meadville, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So that's where it was. Yeah. And I went back last year, and I unfortunately won't be able to go back this year because it's the same weekend as PAX East. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to say. If anybody's at PAX East, swing by the Atari booth, say hi. I'll be there. But yeah, unfortunately, look, I dream about those Cracker Barrel pancakes. They are delightful.
They're so good.
And being in New York City, no Cracker Barrels around here. So I did. My cousin got married, I guess it was like a year and a half ago now, and that hotel was right next to a Cracker Barrel. So I'm just, I need more excuses to go to Cracker Barrels. You are absolutely on the right side of history here. The barrel must be loved by all.
Yeah. There you go. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching and listening. We'll see you next week. Take care and goodbye. Summon Sign is a product of Last Stand Media and Collins Last Stand LLC and is proudly recorded in the USA. The show is written and hosted by me, Brad Ellis. The show is produced by Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. Summon Sign, along with the rest of Last Stand's media shows, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer level on Patreon, our highest tier, and we are grateful for your kind contribution and generosity to our independent endeavor. Thank you.